Good evening. It's Saturday. It's International Football Weekend. How is everyone doing? Lovely to see you all. We're going to be kicking off with some AC Milan. We're on a 5-game winning streak, which is quite nice. So naturally, as I was off stream, we had an international break come up, so I've moved through that, played a couple of friendlies. I've tweaked things just a little, because things are going well, and we don't want them to go too well. We'll go on over. We'll head on over and we'll check in on the save in a moment. But let's say hello properly, because there are some beautiful folks in the chat already. We have the glorious Serachul. I don't know if I'm opening wounds by asking, so I do apologise. But how was shopping this morning or this afternoon? Was it as painful as you were expecting? We also have Wilco in. Welcome in, Wilco. How are you doing, my dude? We have Johnson and we have Draw Johnson. Unfortunately, a bad result playing yesterday. And Finland hosting the Netherlands in a little while as well. Going to be a tricky game. But you are at home. So maybe there's a little bit of hope there. I mean, Zerachul was expecting defeat against Italy last night, and we saw how that turned out. What a crazy result. And how are you doing, Draw? It's lovely to see you, my dude. Really nice to see you. We've got FMG&G in. Now, guys, if you aren't following FMG&G on YouTube, you need to head on over and go and give his channel a follow. I don't have it up here. In fact, whilst I'm talking, let me go and get that channel, because he has just finished his 15-season Wick Academy save, and it is a marvellous series. Really worth checking out. So let me go and grab that and pop that lovely link in there, because that is very much worth going over and giving him a follow and checking them all out. Get that sent over on YouTube as well. Yeah, how are you doing, FMG&G? How do you feel after Ireland's result last night? The late Senegal equaliser, a bit of a kick in the teeth, unfortunately. El Norby's in. Welcome in, El Norby. How are you, sir? I genuinely have no idea who Hungary are playing this weekend. Or did you play last night? Yeah, so let me know. Who are they playing? How are you feeling about the game if it hasn't already happened? Ghost D3 Gaming's in as well. Good evening, Ghost D3. How are you, sir? Can't even get a win against Ecuador. I mean, Ecuador have been pretty good, haven't they? I thought are they still second in the table for the World Cup qualification? I know they were a couple of months ago, sort of back around March time. I don't know if that's still the case. So it's always going to be a tricky game. Ancelotti's first one in charge against a side who seem to be pretty decent at the moment. So let's see. FMJG struggling against minnows, stealing another thing from us Irish. I mean, it's just the way we want to. You know. There's always that desire for a unified Ireland, and you would think that would mean England giving up control of Northern Ireland. It might actually just be the UK absorbing you, and for that we want to share some characteristics, right? Oh God, that's a bleak start, should we say? So Zerachul, lucky to have it. Wife was feeling a bit iffy today. Well, hey, so you only had to endure 2 hours, and your wallet still. I hope Mrs. Zerachul is actually doing okay. But good to hear that you didn't have to endure too much shopping. We've got DM Bassist in. He's going to be in and out, but you're here in spirit. Welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? So Johnson, sorry, honestly, at the moment, I'm just looking forward to the under-21 Euros. Finland even defeated Germany in the Johnson 139 derby the other day. Marvellous stuff. GNG, positive signs from Ireland at times, going back to the harder-to-beat style. If it works, it works. A neutral Normie asks, can Italy miss 3 World Cups in a row? First, welcome in, Normie. Lovely to see you, my dude. It does look a little bit worrying. I mean, I saw a lot of calls for Spalletti out. I've also saw a lot of calls for people claiming that this is all the Italian club's faults for not properly developing players. It all seems a little bit of a mess at the moment, doesn't it? Doesn't it just a little? I'm saying, Normie, it was a Hungary-Sweden friendly yesterday. Disappointing. You're struggling with an allergy as well. Oh, that's a shame. I hope you feel better soon, dude. So is Duff and Keane still play? Absolutely. Right, shall we head on over to the game and see how things are going? So this is where we left off last night. We are currently in 4th, which doesn't look great. I will certainly concede that. However, we have 2 games in hand over Juventus, which means that if we can win both of them, we are within 1 point of top spot. Inter can get up to 17 points. Fiorentina can get up to 21 as well. They've got a game in hand over Juventus. So it's just us who, for some reason, are behind everyone else. I have no idea why we are already 2 games behind. That seems a little unfair to be the only team in that situation. And we didn't done that largely off this run last night. So we started off with a 1-1 draw, a very, very disappointing performance. We were very bad against Sampdoria. We switched from the 3-4-3 to the 4-3-3, which is just moving the libero into midfield, to be fair. And things seem to click. A great win against Roma, who have only just been promoted once again, so they're not a great team. A fantastic win against Arsenal, who beat us in the Champions League final last year. Torino, Galatasaray. Galatasaray was an interesting game. We had 2 penalties denied. We then got a 3rd penalty, which we then missed. Then we scraped through against Catanzaro, who scored a 93rd minute consolation goal that made it a little bit nervy at the end there. Off stream, I've played a couple of friendlies, not the most encouraging results. Both of them we had to improve after half time, and I've taken some of those changes forward. So, I mean, some of those changes. It's one change. I have changed the trequartista on the left to an inside forward on support. Just players like Bonato, I think, is a creative player, which is great, as can Kerem B. But I think that maybe with the inside forward, it's a little bit less attraction of the ball. So that will allow the roaming playmaker to be more involved. Also means that I think that they might not try to release the ball quite as early. I find that the trequartista really tries to push those chances on immediately as soon as they get the ball. And I think we could be a little bit more careful with that. So that's generally speaking the thoughts there. And we'll see how it goes. So Zerchel says you could just have 10 times John O'Shea's in given and goal. That would be a proper defensive Ireland team. We all dream of a team of Gary Breens. Thank you, by the way, Ghosty3 for the follow. That is very kind, sir. So John, so the Finland squad that has been selected is absolute pish as well. I'd imagine about 10ish players at least would be with the senior team if we hadn't qualified for the Euros, the under 21 Euros. That's fair enough. I think we've got Pojan playing on the wing. I saw that Pukki was on the bench. I think Lod is starting. Is it Pikarainen in goal? I can't remember. Oh no, or was it Hradski in goal? But it seemed like an okay squad. Nothing sensational. So we'll see how that goes. Right, so Zerchel, I see you've redeemed a minigame. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go in and we're going to play the Bologna game first. Let's get some momentum to kick things off and then play the minigame after, if that's okay with you. So triangles, false 9 and 2 inside forwards is an absolute killer combo, both in FM and real life. It's really handy because what we're trying to do is we're trying to have this diamond, so with the false 9 as well. Which is a little bit of a shame because it does mean we lose a bit of presence up top. So I'm hoping Nuama's been our best player so far this season, scored in 3 games. There was the double against Arsenal there. He's been our top scorer. We haven't had the same impact from the left-hand side where we're playing the trequartista. So we're hoping it's going to work out right. So we're going to head in there. So, John, sir, our managers are never beaten. The squad is picked based on who is the funniest in the sauna evenings allegations. I mean, that's surely the best way to pick a team, isn't it, right? As usual, I'm the dictator, so we just follow. Beautiful. I'm glad you've come to recognise it. So, John, so that formation you'll have seen is likely wrong. It's going to be a 5-4-1 or a 5-3-2. Pojan Parlo will be up top for sure. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I will blame... I think it was probably the BBC website that I was looking at. So we're going to stick. We had a good run of games by telling them there's no pressure. So we're going to stick with that for the time being. We might as well spam the hell out of that approach until it no longer works anymore. And then we head in against Gabriel Sioffi's Bologna. Should be a tricky away game, this. I think we dropped points against them last season. They haven't started off great. I think they're around 13th as Ferguson heads it in. Started off the season great. They started off this game pretty well. Look at this on the attack. Ndoye is the target. Theo gets there. Ndoye picks it up once again. Plays it inside Ferguson. Ame now. Wisdom Ame's a good player. There we go. Thankfully, that's the highlight over. Punkassen's here and welcome in, Punkassen. How are you? Lovely to see you, my dude. Right, Sonko with the cross and dies the target again. Kerem gets it off the line. Zanotto clears it. We can't get it away. Zanotti, oh my God, this is an awful start. Jesus Christ, Bologna should be 1-0 up. Ferguson sends it back out wide to Loco. Zanotti is in. That's some big contributions from Zanotti in those early moments. Yeah, how are you, Pinkessen? Lovely to see you, my dude. John Sapikarainen in goal would be quite mental considering he's... That's a fair point. I meant at centre-back. I don't know why I said in goal. Right, Loco coming forward once again. Sends the cross in. Ndoye is once more the target. He gets the header above Theo. This is not a good start. This is not a good start. After this highlight, we're going to switch. I can't blame that on the inside forward. I don't think that's the reason why suddenly we've started badly. Here's Ame now. All the way back to Sam Bukema to Cenk. Cenk's got plenty of time. Spreads it out wide to Loco. Loco inside to Gomez. Now Sonko is free. Sonko down the left. Sends the cross in. Piccoli with the shot. Oh my God. Why are we... absolute trash. Right, they're causing trouble down this left-hand side, so we're going to really make sure that we're paying attention to these guys. We're going to swap these guys round, I think, as well. Ball-winning midfielder, roaming playmaker. That's going to be tackle harder and dribble more. Let's swap these guys around as well. So support and attack. Let's see if we can get a little bit more control in this game. This is really, really bad. Oh my. Typical stuff, eh? So El Norby, did you read the news about Armin Pesci? Indeed, the young goalkeeper to Liverpool. I don't know why Liverpool needs so many goalkeepers. I think he's our most talented keeper right now. Well, I suspect that, you know, you want to have succession plans, don't you? So, obviously, he's not going to be coming in to be the backup. You've got Alisson and Marmadashvili. I assume the plan is to either loan out Marmadashvili again whilst Alisson holds down the number 1 spot, or potentially look to phase Alisson out over the next season or so. As Kari with a shot, Cenk heads it behind. That's better. That's better. And then, yeah, they're going to need that backup in a couple of years' time. So it kind of makes sense. Pick them up whilst they're young. Should be interesting. Obviously, you know, with Peter Galacci as well, they've got a history of Hungarian goalkeepers at Liverpool. G&G, you can't imagine Cole Palmer being the funniest in the English sort. I can, to be fair. Not funny laughing with him. Funny laughing at him, unfortunately, I'm afraid. Medical car's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? How are you? It's time to get ready for Angry Man. The luck modifier has been reset. Evidently so. Here comes the corner. This is going to be the goal. Angel Gomez will take the outswinging into the near post. Pizza Patza gets there. Barenechea forces a save out of Atabolo. It's a great save. It's a great save. Let's demand some more. We're going to be switching to the back three, I think, in the second half. Piccoli is the target here. Bukema can't get there. He's handled the ball, so he did get there. He did get there, in fact. Rich is in. Welcome in, Rich. How are you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. Wally, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. Zerachul, it was very unexpected. The Norway rolled, indeed it was. After our coach said they would not extend his contract, Norway has been less rubbish. Maybe that's what's needed. He needs to always be on the cusp of leaving, and that will inspire the players. Zanotti coming forwards in the 43rd minute. Plays it to Kari Noama with the shots. Pretty tame, straight at Ravalia. John said, Marmadashvili did say he'll be staying. There we go then. There we go. Rich says, Solbakken, he was in England with Wolves for a while. It really did not go well. It really didn't go well at all. Here's Cenk to Bukema. Right, last couple of minutes in the first half. Look, Loco. Right, Nuama's not doing any defensive work whatsoever. Ferguson with a chance. Atabolo reads it well, though. And quite a comfortable save, considering it appeared to be going top corner. So, Nuama's got to... I think we need to put him on marking responsibility. Or bring him off, actually, to be honest. We've got to be better. So, we're going to switch back to the 3-4-3. Monterisi, Pizza Pasta, Kari, Rocha, Nuama. So that's going to be double change, I think. We're going to tell Parma to mark Loco specifically. I need you tracking, because we've seen that same pattern even after we made those adjustments with the opposition instructions, is they're constantly free down that left hand side, which is a little bit annoying. So we're going to go on to support, we're going to go on to attack, we're going to go roaming playmaker is going to be here. Yeah, we do want the roaming playmaker on the left if we're making those changes as they are. Ball winning midfield at support. That means you need to tackle harder, dribble more. We are going to pop you there. We're going to bring on Reinders. We're going to bring on Benato. And we're going to bring on Isaac. Make sure we've still got the attention down that left-hand side. Let's just start to try and gain a little bit more control in that second half. Individuals, let's speak to these guys. Why on earth is Reinders nervous? Bless him. Yeah, he's not done great things since a decent spell at Kirbenharn like 20 years ago. Is it really that long ago? That is crazy. That is crazy. Panji, welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you doing? So do I have any plans to play the retro database? Not coming up at any point at the moment. Obviously, we're quite deep into this save with AC Milan. That will be carrying on. We did do the Moneyball Clinic video with the 94-95 database, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if there's going to be plans to doing it with the 86-87. Probably going to be focusing on more current stuff for the time being. Okay, so Bologna sending it in. Here's Piccoli. That's got to be 1-0. Was he onside though? Was he onside? Can we? Are their arms going up? That's what we want. Disallowed, but we are really, really bad. That's tight. That is tight. I mean, once it fell to Piccoli, there was only one outcome. I mean, what on earth is going wrong? Why are we are absolutely... We started last stream absolutely awful. Sakari was losing the ball a lot. Zanotti, I mean, the wide guys will lose the ball a lot. Zanotti's 10 lost possessions from 58 touches is actually okay. 9 from 21 is a little bit worse from Theo. So that's where things seem to be breaking down a little bit. The guys who've come on have been better than the guys they've replaced, which is great. Theo, that looks like him just swinging in crosses, so that's absolutely fine. Right, Bologna, in terms of possession, we are seeing a lot of ball going through Dan and Doy, and then Angel Gomez. We've mentioned Sonko as well. So let's try and attack Ndoye as well. Let's not let him have all that much time on the ball. Let's try and focus that effort there. So we've got attacking wing back on that side. Let's just put Hernandez in a slightly more supporting role. We're going to replace him with Navarro. Let's take Be More Expressive off. We're going to push that. And we'll stay shorter. We'll push the tempo up. Come on, lads. We just need something. Could it be the free kick? Benato hits the bar. That is the standard Benato free kick result. Which a magnificent win for England tight. Scintillating goal fest. Wasn't it an awful game? What a truly awful game. Right, another chance from a free kick. Benato fires it over. Disappointing. Hungdamin's in. Welcome in, Hungdamin. How are you, sir? Hope you've had a lovely day. Triangles, unrelated to anything going on. I just want to let you know something entertaining from your current forest save. Between your backroom staff and players, you have quietly collected 6 Hugo Almeidas, including the real one. Amazing. If you could get a full backroom team of Hugo Almeidas, that would be incredible. Right, Reinders, this seems to be better. Can we do something from here? Oh, it just over, clips the top of the net. It was more of a chance for Palmer with that low cross than it was for Reinders, to be fair. Into the last few moments, the last change that we can make. Zanotti. Pafundi's currently injured, which is why Zanotti got the start. We are going to bring off Palmer. We're going to bring on Carmona. Let's see if we can get something in these last 5 minutes or so. We wouldn't... I was going to say we wouldn't deserve it. I mean, the momentum has been in our favour, but the chances are definitely... You know, they had a disallowed goal. It was very, very narrow. Bologna have been on top for the majority of the highlights, so we can't really deny that, unfortunately. Hundermin, the ZZZ match we have here, like the Andorra versus England versus Andorra. Indeed. Indeed. So Solbakkens' recent run at Copenhagen was 2013 to 20, so not 20 years ago. But he was rubbish in the second run. The first run, yeah, was around 20 years. That's crazy. Crazy. It feels so like my sense of time is completely all over the place. George is in as well. Welcome in, George. How are you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. And we have RJ. How are you? How's your weekend going so far? Wow. That was absolutely atrocious. You guys need to step it up for the next game. But hopefully, this is just a little bit of a repeat of last night, where our first game is rubbish, and we're going to pick up. We're going to go on a nice run thereafter. I don't know if anyone. I haven't played FIFA or EA now for many years, but always if I'd start a session, the first game was always going to be a 0-0 because I'd be a little bit rusty. It's not until the second game that I'm properly warmed up. I know that doesn't apply in FM, but I'm going to just convince myself that's the case somehow. Right, let's get these guys rested. Our next game against Sassuolo is in a few days. Let's start that on there. And let's head on over to the mini game. So Zerachel, thank you very much for doing. We will play a round of Guess the Player. Standard game. If you haven't been here before, I will explain the rules. In a moment, you're going to see 4 pictures from a player's profile in FM24, one after the other. You're going to see the positions they play, their attributes and traits, their coach report, and their club history. Your job is to guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. The more points you get, the higher up the leaderboard you end up. And so we'll head on over into the very first... Oh, no, we won't. Before we get to the first clue, I will tell you that, just a reminder, that this is a player at the beginning of FM24 using the default database. So a player like Joshua Zirkzee, for example, is still at Bologna, hasn't moved to Man United like he has in real life. Just something to be aware of, potentially. So here is our very first clue. I will catch up a little bit there. So, John, sir, you've just realised that Siltonen isn't even on the bench. First, Eremenko has to withdraw due to injury. Would have been his first game in 9 years. I was going to say, I'm amazed Eremenko was in the squad at all. And now your biggest talent, and the one player I was excited to see, isn't going to be playing. Maybe it's better to save him for a game that isn't against Netherlands, to be fair. Zerachel, Denmark was like Germany. They should win these days. There are 2 to 3 good teams. So that's fair. Koratiba, welcome in. Malta and Lithuania drew 0-0. That sounds like a game I wouldn't want to watch. So you're doing fine, you're relaxing. The weather is very UK-like. It is pretty rotten here, that's for sure. That is for sure. So we have got some guesses coming in. Also, we've got Kvez in as well. Welcome in, Kvez. Lovely to see you, my dude. Could it be Thomas Partey, Sandro Tonali, Casemiro, Parejoy, Guido Rodriguez, Chris Rigg, El Neni, Pavlovic, Pepelu, Thorsby, Jorginho, Guerra, Raskin, Xhaka, Aseko, Dabiq, Darun, Nico Gonzalez. It's definitely not Nico Gonzalez. Fuck Nico Gonzalez. Welcome in, Johan. There is some context to that. I'm not meaning to pick on you there. Could it be Conor Gallagher, Danilo, or Rakitic? It is none of those. Let's head on to the next clue. See if this helps at all. It is... we know that they're a defensive midfield. They like to dictate tempo. They like the ball played into feet. They've got excellent composure, excellent passing. Otherwise, pretty solid across the board. So Captain Becco asks, what's happening? We're playing a round of Guess the Player. We've got some clues. You see parts of a player's profile. You try and just guess which player in FM24 they are. Could it be Edison? Could it be Fagioli? Could it be? Oh, we've got another guess for Jorginho. Or Coritiba player, Sebastian Gomez, Florin Newhouse, Modric, Gravenberg, Vitinha, Locatelli. Fabulous guesses all coming in. Welcome in, Caffeine. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you? I hope you are doing well. I would shout you out, but it's probably a very bad time to do so because it'll get lost immediately whilst people are guessing. I'll just save that for the end of the game if that's all right with you. So Newhouse, we got guessed as well there. We've got someone asking, are they from Boca? Interesting. We've got guesses for Varela. We've got guesses for McTominay, Ramon Turat, Alexis McAllister, Tielemans as well. All fine guesses, but sadly, we're not on the right wavelength. Let's move to the next clue. Let's see if the coach report will help identify where we are. We are looking at a good Bundesliga player with the potential to be a leading Bundesliga player, which I think is probably going to be the key thing. This is a player that can improve and is got lots of potential. Lots and lots of potential. They're a good team player, they're consistent, they're versatile. So does that mean, could it be Wimmer? Could it be Andreas Schaffer or Granit Xhaka? Could it be Still or Sittler? Could it be Nicholas Seiwald or Newhouse or Schlager? Triangle says it's Stiller 100%. Tommaso has gone for Stiller as well. We've got Wirtz, we've got Dade, we've got Manu Cohn, we've got Warner, we've got a fourth guess for Stiller. Now, the question is, most of these games require you to spell things correctly. Thankfully, this isn't one of them. So that is a sensational 2 points going to the quiz with his guess of Still Sittler. Still Sittler it is, Angelo Stiller. What a Rolls Royce of a player. Well done, Quez. Fantastic work there. Just beating Tommaso by mere seconds. Absolutely incredible. And then Triangles wasn't far behind that either at all. That is absolutely, it is still him, isn't it? It is still Stitler, whatever we called him. It is indeed. Fabulous work, Quez. Beautiful stuff. There was applause coming in from Zeratul, from Medical Car, from GNG, from RJ, from Hung Min, from El Norby, from Triangles. It is very, very much deserved. Marvellous stuff. And now, whilst that was going on, we did have a little arrival from the glorious, the wonderful Caffeine FC. Now, if you haven't already started following Caffeine FC, you should go and do so now. Unfortunately, I'm really bad at the shout-outs, and I've just put his name in chat instead of actually sending the thing. Go and give him a follow. Absolutely incredible. Lovely gentleman. Part of the North American Creators League as well, a little bit earlier on in the cycle. Really worth going over and giving him a follow. So, Triple M's in. Welcome in. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Lovely to see you, my man. Tommaso, thank you very much for the follow as well. Lovely to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Right, let's see if we can bounce back against Sassuolo. Sassuolo, good team. They finished around that position last season, around 7th or so. I think it might have been 8th. We have had difficulty scoring against Obedna Cambadio, who's their goalkeeper at the moment. So that might be a little bit of a challenge. We did have a bid in for him at the end of the transfer window. However, Atabolo agreed first, so we signed Atabolo. It was a transfer right at the end of the window. Newcastle came in and bid for our starting goalkeeper, Caprile. So I didn't want to risk a situation where we're just waiting on one goalkeeper and it doesn't go through for whatever reason. So we had two stones in the fire. That's the new. We're going for that. That's what we're going for. Stones in the fire. That's a new phrase. Definitely exists. And took the first one, but Nkambadio is a goalkeeper I really like. Could be a little bit of a trouble. So, Tommaso, didn't know you're on Twitch too. Indeed. Couldn't understand how the chat on YouTube didn't match with the screen. So, yes, the way that the terms of services for Twitch, unfortunately. So, it's only been like the last maybe 4 or 5 months that Twitch has allowed you to multi-stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but I'm not allowed to have YouTube chat up on the Twitch stream as part of the terms of service. I know there are many people that do it anyway, but no point in doing things that could cause me trouble down the line. So we have the Twitch chat up there. You guys, when you're on YouTube, you can see the conversation that's going on, and unfortunately it has to be as a conduit through me for the YouTube chat, so that the people on Twitch can't see what's going on there, unfortunately. Right, Profundi is still a couple of days away. We will bring in players back to an old thing, the 4-2-3-1, so I like having the defensive midfielder in there. So our normal lineup would have that and that. Bjorn Rod was short of fitness after international duty, so he can come back into the starting lineup now. So that should be as close to our full strength lineup as we can put out there. Pardon me. I'm going to start with Be More Expressive off, and let's see how we get on. Be nice to bounce back with a good performance, I hope. So, George, it's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. It's not indeed. You tell me, how does someone balance a balloon hanging upside down in a wind tunnel? I like the tweak on it. So, Musterman, did you watch Stinger's videos recently? He started to do Moneyball videos with your skin. Indeed, he has. Really, really fun videos as well. It's great to see. Obviously, did a couple of Man United videos now. Recently dropped one with Tottenham as well. Absolutely sensational stuff. Right, one more round of no pressure. Let's see how we get on. We should... Well, I mean, we should expect to win almost all of our home games, to be fair. So really, there's no excuse. Can we do it from here? Reinders into Monterisi. Benato sends it forwards. Nuama wasn't paying much attention in the last game. That's why he came off, because he was constantly not paying attention to his man. Right there from the start, the ball's going into him, and he's just not alert. Which is a shame, because he was really, really good in the seat.
We are in Champions League, man.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Dilly ding, dilly dong, indeed. There we go. Oh, Nuama. Yeah, I mean, I do wonder whether that's the big reset that we're seeing, is that actually it's the consistency of a couple of players that's taken a little bit of a hit. Maybe Nuama seems to be warming into the game. However, Reinders gives it away. Natalini on the break plays it back to Carboni. Carboni's a quality player, to be fair. Do need to be aware of him. Sends it into Humphreys. Del Prate, plenty of time on the ball. We play in a mid block. Ball over the top. Toclamati's in behind. Oh dear, Theo. I don't like seeing players switch off. Right, let's demand some more. So George, not going to lie, forgot the real thing, so I put what I thought I had in it. Oh no, I like it. I think it should change every time. That'd be amazing. Right, sends it out to Natalini. Zanotti picks it up well. Now here's Nuama. Nuama, come on, sends it to Palmer. That's what we needed. Boom. I thought the chance had gone. There was an opportunity for Nuama to play it into Palmer and then us to have Benato completely free for the third pass. It didn't matter. He squared it across to Palmer, who palms it into the corner. Very, very nice. So we haven't had much. We've only had 49% ball share. It's been a bad game so far. 3 shots for us, 2 for Sassuolo. Reinders lining one up from the edge of the area. Well blocked by Zeze, behind for a corner. But I'm happy for us to grind things out if that's what it takes for us to get some wins. Tommaso asks, so you have a question with your skin about something I can't understand. Even if it's a year and a half, I play with it. When you're in the player profile screen, how do I get the little view showing me in which role he played during the season? Can't find it. So, are you talking about the actual role they played? Then you want to go, either you can go to the selector, the pizza chart selector, you've got the options for form, and that will give you a breakdown there. Or you can go to the reports form screen. So let's pop in here. Obviously, this is a different version here, but the reports form screen will tell you what role they played in each game and break it down. If you're talking about what position they played, you just need to, obviously on the public skin, you've got the header up here, and you've got the little pitch there. You click on the pitch and it'll bring you up the positions that they played in, their ratings in positions and stuff. Right, we're 1-0 up, but I don't like what I've seen. We need a little bit more coming out of our performance in the second half. Let's pop back. Let's have a look here. So again, I want to see where we're losing the ball. Reinders has lost it a lot. Benato's lost it a lot as well. Nuama, 8 from 33 from a winger isn't too bad. Zanotti and... Right, Hernandez has been better. Zanotti, less so. Reinders is my main concern, however, in that regard. And let's just check on the Sassuolo team as well. We are seeing that a lot of the ball is going into Carboni and Toclamati. So we've got players down different sides, I think, there. That's so Carboni's on the left, Toclamati's on the right. Right, it is indeed. So let's put pressure on both of those, even though it's a very disjointed side of things. We're going to ask Reinders. Gonna pop Reinders as a Mazzala, but take fewer risks. Zanotti, I'm fine with. He's going to cross. There's going to lose possession. That's okay. Rocha is an issue on that yellow card in a tackle harder capacity. So we're going to bring on Cajuste. We're actually going to drop this down, try and get a little bit more control of the ball in the second half. I hope. John Sergeno should song. Oh, good news. Good news. New headphones have arrived. So we will have later on during the week, hopefully we will have some new celebration songs for our basically completely retooled squad. But they only turned up about, well, I went for a nap as soon as they turned up. So they only turned up about 4 o'clock. No chance to get that done today. Here we go with a song for every bloody thing in existence. It is very much. He's probably got a song for Harry Kane's penalty miss in 2022 against France. We need one. We need one just in case. So kind of like that Sassuolo. The Sassuolo kit is definitely nice. Right, the changes we've made has seen it be all Sassuolo at the beginning of the second half, which I'm not particularly encouraged by. Toclamati in thank God he's offside. Thank God he's offside. Is this going to be a pattern in the second half? You can't really judge off just 5 minutes. Or is it just from kickoff they've been able to sustain pressure for a bit? Here we go from a corner. Benato finds Reinders. Reinders shot once again. Looks like it deflected off our player. And behind. Right. Emiro Hisuki. Out to Zanotti. He plays it to Nuama. Nuama drifting inside. He's going to play it out wide. Theo. Can he get the cross in? He can indeed. Palmer goes down. We still have the ball. Reinders from the edge of the area. Again, just clipping the top of the net there, unfortunately. Tommaso, thank you. You meant the pitch one. Perfect. So, T. Detuela, what feature would you like to see added in the upcoming FM25/FM26? I mean, it's a difficult question because ultimately I would just like to see FM26 in its new form, in its new glory. I'm not really that fussed about adding features. You know, the game of football ostensibly hasn't changed over the last 20, 30 years to require this constant search for new features. I want the current game moved over. I want things refined. I want them to question perhaps whether things have the purpose that they need, right? So if you're looking at training or if you're looking at media interactions, why are they in the game? They're in the game because they're part of football. What is the purpose of it? How do we go about it? Maybe some rethinking of existing features rather than anything new, personally. Right, Theo's tired. Nuama's tired, so we're going to make those changes. Push that tempo back up. Let's get that second goal if we can. I hope, at least. I hope. RJ, did you get rid of Nico? We did. At 11 p.m. on transfer deadline day, PSG came in with a bid for 10 million euros, but without us having to cover any of his wages. So delighted we managed to ship him off right at the last minute. I celebrated harder than I have for anything else in this save, I think. And we're going to bring on Carmona. Those are our last changes. Hopefully we'll see it out. Palmer with the cross. Humphreys gets there. Emiru Husuki squares to Navarro. Navarro with his first goal of the... Oh no, it came off Masconi. Oh, that's going to be offside because it deflected off our man. No, it's a goal. Boom. Not the best game, but certainly an improvement on the Bologna match. I mean, Bologna deserved to win. I can't say the same about Sassuolo in this one. So at least that's moving in the right direction, but still not particularly flowing. Not the greatest performance there. Mosconi gets his first goal for the club. Palmer with his second goal of the season. But that does do us some good from a momentum point of view. So there we go. Our gaming has been... Oh yes, we drew the game against Bologna, didn't we? I was going to say, so we are 3 points behind Juventus and Fiorentina. Obviously, we want to make sure that we don't fall too far behind. So John, sir, you're off to watch the Finland game. You'll probably be here in about 45 minutes ranting about how shit you've been. I hope it goes well. So Natural Born Killer, how can I easily compare a player and his backup? The differences are always 0.0. I mean, if you're saying we haven't played enough games really to be able to do so here, but let's look at Hasuki and compare him with Monterisi there. So you can still compare, even if those differences are negligible. We'll view it as centre backs here. Monterisi is playing in defensive midfield for us at the moment, but that's because we use him as a libero. So they are playing different roles. But even if we look at things here, like we can see that there's negligible difference between something like Helas 1, 3.56 to 3.82. We can see that there is still a difference. So, you know, if there's comparison elements there, you can, whether if it's 0.01 or not, you might come to the conclusion that they're even. If, however, you've got a backup playing all the games against rubbish teams and you've got your starter playing all the hard games and they both look to be around the same quality, well, actually, that kind of works in the favour of the person playing against the harder teams, right? So that's the only thing really to consider in that regards. So we're ready to move on. Another game at home against Cagliari. Cagliari are bottom of the table. You know what that means. You know what that means for sure. Possession phase, that's good there. 10 million, wasn't he estimated at something like 60? So this all started when we rejected a bid from, I think it was Man United, and he said he wanted to leave, and we agreed that we would let him go for 90 million euros. By the time transfer deadline day came, with there being 1 year left on his contract, his value was 30 million euros, but we've replaced him. He's not part of our team. He's costing us 18 million euros a year with his wages. So that 10 million plus the 18 million saved, I'm just delighted. I would have let him go for, we were willing to let him go and pay for his wages. So, you know, I'm delighted. Wages were too high for the cheapskate Musterman. Exactly. Welcome in, Benny. How you doing, my dude? I hope you're doing well. Now, if you're not following Benny, you most definitely should be. Lovely chat. Play some out of the park, baseball as well, but also a lot of FM. An absolute star. Another one of the horde of amazing North American creators as well. So if you like staying up late night, there's a good chance there's going to be a Benny around. There's a very good chance. I mean, it's daytime for you, Benny, obviously. How are you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. So RJ, you got sold, yes, too expensive with his foot. Exactly that. Right, let's all start saying in chat, you don't know what you're doing. I don't. Natural Born Killers, thank you, no worries at all. George was too expensive for Musterball. Well, sacrifice had to be made. I mean, it's all about, I think we've reduced the wage bill by 2 million euros a week, if I recall correctly. So when we came in, which would have been around June 2031. So June 2031 is here. It's 5.64 million. We're now down to just under 3 million euros a week. which I think is a little bit more manageable. Almost halved it. And then, like, I think I'm happy at the moment with the squad that we've got. I think we're moving in the right direction. And then, like, next season, we can start to swing for the fences and maybe start paying around that €300,000 mark. But, like, almost every starting player was between 300,000 and 400,000 euros, which is just crazy money. Crazy money. You have a new save coming soon as well. Oh, what's the save, Benny? Do tell. So where am I from? I am from England. I mean, I have a Greek father, so I prefer to cling on to the Greekness rather than the Britishness. But no, I'm from England. George, sacked in the morning. You're getting sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning. What's with all the hate? What's with all the hate, George? Oh, that seems very, very cruel. Somewhere weird. Almost certainly. So Benny, also you're emotionally dead inside. The Oilers lost game 2 in a double overtime. Game 3 is tomorrow night away in Florida. So I'm good. I mean, yeah, that's not great. I mean, how has your away form been? Do you feel there's a chance of picking up at least one win on the road? Because I mean, that's all you need to do to level it back up, right? So George, Ed Woodward pops up. Give him a new deal. You should give him a new. Are you okay, George? Are you okay? You seem to be having a conversation with yourself right now. I hope you're doing all right. So Tommaso, when you go deep into the future, wages usually go crazy. You're on 2049 and squad players ask for 15 million per year. Exactly. That's why we get it down. We don't need to do that. If a player wants too much money, fuck off. Quite happy to back out of deals where it keeps things, it adds a nice little bit of a challenge to it. Right, so against Cagliari are going to be playing a 2-4-3-1? Yeah, a 2-4-3-1. That's what we're going to call it. Profundi is ready to come back on the bench, which is great. Mosconi did get his goal. Nuama had some good moments. He got the assist, obviously, but also frustrated me at times. Theo is getting on a bit, so that's going to be that rotation there. Rocha is 1 yellow card away. Our next league game is Udinese. Then we've got Helas Verona. Yeah, I don't mind him ending up picking up a suspension in the coming game, so that's all right. I think we're going to bring in Pizza Pasta. And right, Mosconi, Pizza Pasta, Navarro. 3 changes, making sure we're getting that rotation in. Kind of the ideal situation there. Hopefully, not going to cost us too much. So Benny, I think Florida is so good. We're going to come back to Edmonton 3-1 down in the series. That's fair. George, used to it. I'm sorry, my dude. I'm sorry. Benny, so the new save is going to be rebooting the FM 100% challenge in FM24. 10 continental trophies, 117 leagues, 71 cups. All need to be won. You'll be starting in Korea. Awesome. That's going to be, I mean, you've got 5 months. That's perfect. It's not that Profundi. This is Regen Profundi, Tommaso Profundi, who we signed last summer. He was one of our first pickups. Finished the season with 5 goals and 11 assists from right back, in rotation as well. Cracking player, cracking hair. Again, we're sticking with no pressure. We are going to get a nice, convincing win over Cagliari. I'm confident. So, Tommaso, you can't do it, unluckily. You leave all your transfers to the DOF. A classic challenge. I mean, that's fair. You're already adding that element of challenge, and it's something that means that you will find yourself sign with players that you wouldn't have otherwise signed, which I think really makes the game world a lot more exciting. When you end up with signings you're not sure about, or with deals that you have to carefully manage. I think it's always nice to have that additional force trying to sabotage you. RJ, Anderlecht Futsal is champions. At least you won something this year. Like, Belgian champions, European champions, world futsal champions. What's the scale that they've done it on? Right, here comes the break from Cagliari, coming away with Jenny. Jenny down the right-hand side. Can he get the cross in? He can. Iliev's the target, but Bjorn Rod gets back, wins the header, puts it behind for a corner right at the death there. That was a scintillating counter-attack from Cagliari. From the corner, Ibrahimovic sends it in. Rod is there once again to head it away. Good job. Good job, Bjorn Rod. So, early phases, we've had a lot of the ball. We have had the only actual shots, but nothing major so far. Mosconi now sees Navarro out in space, and Navarro just waits for the ball to come to him. Doesn't show any sense of urgency. No sense of urgency whatsoever. Just like, yeah, we'll wait for it to come along. It's only 0-0. We've got plenty of time. Zanotti now back inside to Pizza Pasta. Pizza Pasta all the way back to Atabolo. Here's Bjorn Rod, plenty of time. Can he pick out Rocha? He can indeed. Now look at Navarro. Navarro this time, can he get the cross in? He can't, so he moves it back inside. Rod to Navarro, to Monterisi. Monterisi plays the ball over the top. Mosconi sends it in. Reinders with the volley, and it's over. Oh, has Reinders had a shot on target this season, bless him? A lot of shots blocked, a lot of shots over. But at least he's trying. At least he's trying. Oh, bless him. So, Tommaso, you have star players on 40 million per year. That is an obscene amount of money. That is obscene. It's only numbers on a screen, not real money. That is very true, though. Right, Ibrahimovic with a corner. Rod gets there, but Gallo will get it back into the mix, and Navarro just hoofs it away. And Braganza has time to play it inside to Patena. A chance for Cagliari to reset, but they push it all the way back to Nuoso, trying to bring us out of our shape. And now Greco. Out wide, Rocha. What? Benata. Am I really going to have to ask these guys to man mark? It looks like we're going to, but here's Mosconi. Mosconi off the post. Mosconi, a great chance there. It's very, very interesting seeing that Navarro pulls out the pass. Bonato in that defensive phase was just standing right in the middle, not really doing anything defensively, which was surprising for an inside forward. I'd get that if he was still a trequartista, right? So Benny, to be honest, any player whose surname ends with Indy is a club legend. I'm on board with that. I am on board with that entirely. The best new gen hairstyle is the mohawk. I will agree with that as well. So Benny had a Simon Roger McKendy, a clutch striker, only 38 goals in 129 games, but almost all of those games have been scored in games when you really need it in game. That's what you want. You want proper clutch players like that, right? Either to go in front or draw level. Tommaso, it's a crazy difficult challenge, but that's what's fun about it. Exactly. You need those things that kind of help push the narrative. Right. I actually think we've kind of been... I think this has been our best performance so far this stream. And it's 0-0 at half time. So we do need to step up. We're still going to tell them that we're not happy with them. We are going to have to ask you to mark your bloody players. That guards, and we will add Be More Expressive back on. Let's try and see if we can just unlock a little bit more, maybe be a bit more, think out of the box when it comes to our approach play a bit. That's the hope anyway. So RJ, now just Belgium, but we'll take it. We got to the elite groups in the UCL. That's quite cool as well. Mim, Pizza Pasta indeed. There was a name your new gen rename option over on Twitch. So Pizza Pasta and a couple of other players in our squad are names that have been renamed by viewers. Right, second half, just one chance so far, so that's not good. So other players include Emuru Hisuki, HJ Bokkers as well. We're going to bring Profundi back on. Going to bring off, and we're going to take Be More Expressive off. In fact, we are going to push Navarro up. I'm going to stop Reinders being a advanced playmaker again. So I have faith in you, and we're going to just demand a little bit more. See what we've got going on in that. And still, that's another 10 minutes without a chance. Hopefully this is going to be one. Now, Nawuso in goal. Has the ball. Plenty of time. Spreads it out wide to Dessina. Into Greco. Petena now. Lovely ball forwards to Chiquinho, but he gets himself in trouble, and Rocha comes away with it. Rocha finds Kerem. Kerem with a shot. It takes a massive deflection, and it goes behind for a corner. So what's the story behind Pizza Pasta? Medical car just wanted to call him Pizza Pasta. I think because we're in Italy. So it's as straightforward as that. I don't think there's any great story behind it from what I gathered. Palmer with the free kick. Pizza Pasta with the header into the side netting. So a couple of chances since, which is cool. Right, Rangers is coming off. And we're going to bring on... We're going to bring on Izuk. We're going to bring on Nuama. So we're going to push up into this position here. On support. No, we're going to put you as a winger. Have you hopefully underneath as well occasionally. Pop you on support. You can step into midfield, in fact. Let's push that tempo even higher. See if we can get anything in the dying embers of this game, hopefully. And right, Rocha does get his suspension. That's fine against Udinese next week. It is an away game, but I'd much rather it happens now rather than when we end up with some big... Oh, new armor! Oh. We're dropping points. We're dropping points like crazy. We did at least have a go towards the end. Oh, a handful more chances on to the roof of the net. We should have never stopped the stream last night. We were in the ascendancy. There is more. Another 0-0 draw. And arguably our best game so far. Ah, well. And that's timed beautifully because we have a ad coming up in about 30 seconds. So I get to stew on this whilst I go to the toilet and take a vape and everything. And then we'll be back in 3 minutes. So I'll see you then. Right, and we're back, and we have another mystery mini game, as redeemed by Zerachel. So we're going to play a round of Only Connect. If you haven't been here before, I will explain the rules. In a moment, you're about to see 4 pictures of footballers, one after the other. They all share some kind of common connection, and it's your job to work out what that connection is. Now, generally, it might be something football related, like they might have all played for the same club or under the same manager, or share a similar record, like maybe they've scored the fastest goals in their respective leagues. Now, normally on a Friday, we have something a little bit more complicated, but because tonight's Wednesday stream was pushed back to Saturday, this is a Friday night type of Only Connect, which means it's going to be a little bit more abstract. We've had things like trees in their names, as El Norby mentions, or what are some other ones we've had? I can't remember now. Or they've had a professional career in other sports and things like that. Something that maybe requires thinking a little bit outside of the box. And South Park Gate, indeed, where they all shared names with South Park characters. That one made me laugh. I do apologize. So we might have a slightly more difficult one for you this time. So let's head over to the first clue and see if anyone's got any ideas. Firstly, if you know who the player is, pop it in the chat so that everyone knows and kind of helps people work out and bounce ideas off one another. Fly by Night, by the way, welcome in. Lovely to see you. I really, really appreciate the follow. So Draw asks, what do I think about the fact England only beat Andorra 1-0? Should they be worried? I don't see it as being a reason for concern, generally speaking, because it's still very early into Tuchel's tenure. He's learning players. This was like a first start for Rodgers and Madueke. He's trying something out with Jones and stuff. But it is funny that it was a bad result. So we have correctly identified. Triangles FM is right. James is right. Zerachel is right. This is Demba Ba. So Tommaso suggesting that name and surname end with the same 2 letters. Oh, I like that. I didn't think of that. It's not that, but Demba Ba, which is quite cool. Matto has gone for all players' surnames contain animal sounds. I love that one too as well. Bah. I didn't do that. Well, we will ignore that ever happened. So Coratiba asks, should you buy a retro Nagoya Grampus shirt or an Everton one? Oh, it's got to be the Nagoya Grampus one, surely. So we've got Johan says just that they've all played in Turkey. Name means big, which is quite cool. Their names are all sheep related. That would be quite cool as well. It's not those, I'm afraid. All scored against the team Gerard played in. Word for dad in some languages. They are all fine guesses, but none of them are right, I'm afraid. DM Basis has correctly said nobody likes Everton. Exactly. That's why you should go for the Nagoya one. So do we know who this player is? And can we work out what a connection could be between Demba Ba and this glorious, glorious mane? It is glorious hair, RJ, isn't it? It really is. So is it Medjbury? It is Medjbury. Hannibal Medjbury, correct triangles. And so, because it's Hannibal, FMG&G is guessing that it could be A-team characters. So you've got Hannibal. You've got Baracus, B.A. Baracus. I see what you're going with there. I do like the thinking, G&G. I like it a lot because you've also got the Boniface, and you might have Ali Murdoch McCoist. That is a sensational 3 points, GNG. Incredible work. Incredible. My word, that is sensational. I'm glad that you're on board with the stupid ideas. It is indeed Demba B.A. Baracus, Hannibal Medjbury, Victor Bonnie the Face, and Ali Murdoch McCoist. I genuinely I got 3 in. I couldn't find a proper Murdoch, so the spelling is wrong, but who cares? What work? The applause coming your way from DM Bassist, from Zerachel, from Matto, from Tommaso, from the Kvez. The statement, goddamn great from Zerachel, absolutely fits perfectly. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Ryan is right. That is nuts. Oh my God, says Richson. Look at that applause. Take that, Crodmo. Indeed. I mean, that... And look at this response. See, these are easy. You say South Park Gate at the top. I mean, this is essentially the South Park round again. But GNG is on the wavelength today. He is on it. Absolutely sensational work. All right, whilst that's going on, I've managed to move forwards a whole day in the save. Pardon me. Our next game is away against Molde. So Solskjaer, who we did see earlier on in the save, they beat Olympiacos by a crazy scoreline. Was it like 7-0? 7-0. They beat them in the qualifying path. So not a bad team. They've got Tammy Abraham up front. We can't necessarily take it for granted, that's for sure. Pardon me. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. That's an awful Scottish accent. I do apologise for that. Indeed, James. Exactly. Take a bow, son. Honestly, indeed.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
So one of them played for Sunderland. Who was in that list? So Victor Boniface definitely hasn't played for Sunderland. I don't remember Demba Ba. I think that would have been a controversial move with his time at Newcastle. So it has to be Hannibal, right? Has to be Hannibal, potentially. So all the hobbits live in the Solskjaer. I see what you did there. Beautiful stuff. You got to know outside football references now for Only Connect. Naturally, I know it's not Friday night, but it was a Friday night Only Connect for sure. I'm going to switch to the 3-4-3 for this. And I am going to make some changes. So we'll get Theo back in because he was rested in the last game. Kari can come in. Nuama can return to the lineup. Isaac can start. Isuki will come back in for Pizza Pasta. Bjornrod is quite tired, so we're going to bring him out. Actually, let's give Navarro another game. Let's pop Theo in defence. So there we are, up against the 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3 is probably a better fit, but I just want to see if maybe we can get a little bit more purchase. If we're a little bit more secure defensively, we might be able to control the game. I feel like I haven't seen great performances from the roaming playmaker in the 4-3-3, whereas he was doing quite well in the 3-4-3 before, so... We're going to say no pressure again. We're going to do it. Beautiful stuff. I can't be bothered to lift the hood up, but that now pushes that. I'll have to. There we go. Right, let's start well here. Here's Zanotti. Can he get the cross in? He can. It's going to reach Navarro. He plays it to Rocha. Kari finds Isaac. Oh, he couldn't quite turn and get the shot off. That would have been a perfect start, but sadly it wasn't to be. So Rich, wrong. Oh, Ali. Of course, it's bloody Ali McCoist. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't even get that far. I was just like, no, it can't be Boniface, it can't be Hannibal. Very true. So naturally we were impatient, didn't give him time and sold him back to Rangers. The rest is history, as they say. Absolutely. Theo is a centre-back. Yes, indeed. Now he's a little bit older. I quite like him as our backup left centre-back. That's kind of the additional role that he will play. We've got Albert Navarro is our backup left wing-back. And we've got a young player who's another one of the renamed ones, so HJ Bockers, who's going to be there to take over Theo's left wing backiness from next season once Theo's contract expires. So yeah, so Theo as our backup left centre back. So Black Boy, welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you doing? The quiz, is this some low level royalty free music? I only watch premium international competitions. Indeed. And that reminds me, I've got to unmute it now. Oops, it's going to be doing the echoing as a result. If you don't beat Molde, you're unfollowing. That's understandable, Zeratul. That is very, very understandable. So Ryan, you're starting a save that will get you to the end of FM24. What's the save, Ryan? What are you going for? Here's Benato. Right, can he unlock the defense? Benato down the left. Cuts back inside, sees Monterisi. Monterisi with a shot. It takes a deflection behind. We're getting we've had a lot of shots so far this stream in that area, just inside the box, but against a crowded, in a crowded situation. So they're getting a lot of deflections going behind for corners. So that might be something we look for, trying to perhaps be a little bit more crafty in that final third. Or maybe try and take those shots from a little bit further out. See if we can open up the space and make it harder for them to cover and maybe create more angles potentially. Because, yeah, once we get in there, it's very, very crowded. Here's Navarro, shoots from the edge and just wide. Akram Mickelburst, happy to see it wide with no trouble whatsoever. RJ, in 2027... whenever FM26 is out, yes, in 2027. I mean, so I do kind of expect that we might hear something this month potentially. Normally towards the end, or in the last couple of years, towards the end of June, we've had like a dev blog update, and that's normally the one piece of news before they then start doing their marketing in August time. Generally, there's a bit of marketing in August, proper build up in September. That's normally the approach, isn't it, right? So I kind of hope we do hear something towards the end of the month, but I'm only going to be worried if we haven't really heard anything by August. So I'm expecting a game in 2025. What it'll be like, who knows? So Black Boy, yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I say we're doing well. We're having a rubbish stream so far. 2 disappointing draws: away against Bologna, home against bottom place Cagliari, and Isaac has just missed. Oh, come on, lads. Come on. A gilt-edged chance there for Isaac. We are very much in the ascendancy. Alba Navarro now. Can he get the cross? And he can. Sends it low. There we go. Holton with the own goal. Our players can't shoot. We don't know how to score, but thankfully the opposition can do it for us. Finally, we've broken the deadlock. This is interesting. It's interesting because we're playing the last couple of games, this game and the last one, we played quite well. But we're struggling to find those finishing touches. Will Molde punish us for our profligacy? They're only 1-0 down, coming up to the last 10 minutes or so of the half. Mundaling. Kari does the defensive work nicely. Now, why didn't Monterisi take that? Monterisi was the target. Rocha couldn't get there. But it's okay, we come away with it.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
That should have been a goal as well. I didn't realise that soundbite's a little bit louder than I was expecting. Made me jump a little there. Right, Monterisi from the edge of the area, straight down the throat of Mickelburst. So let's see, Ryan, simming to 2042, so there's no real players left. No badges, Journeyman, trying to win all continental trophies whilst using Moneyball to find players. Sounds great. Holton to Yengar, Bonato gets it clear. Just 1 minute to go in this first half. Yengar into Fofana, to Di Benedetto on the edge of the area. And Nuama comes away with it. Well read from Nuama. Can he do anything here? No, he just kills the momentum, plays it back to Theo. Now we come away with Kari. Drives forwards. At the half, Kari opens up for him, takes a shot, clips the top of the net. Bless him. So, yeah, that sounds like a great challenge, Ryan. CJ McNally has just finished his 13th season with Hamburg, won the domestic double, but was cruelly beaten by PSG on penalties in the semis. I mean, a fantastic season, CJ. Great to hear. And you now have that extra motivation to go and win the Champions League next season now. Right, again, we can definitely improve.
We are in Champions League, man.
That was my next
Dilly din,
question.
dilly dong, come on.
I'm still not happy with what we're seeing from Benetto, so we're going to try him as a playmaker. As a trequartista, wasn't quite working. As an inside forward, I don't think we've really seen anything great from him. I know he's essentially got the assist because of the own goal. I know it's not an assist, but it counts as a positive action. But like even those moments there, he just didn't seem to be showing for the ball kind of how I'd like him to. So let's just try that in the second half and see how we go. You can be better. Ryan, using don't use real players, you can kind of work it out indeed. Essentially, Kvez, right, it will occasionally change things like their attributes a little, but like marginally, might change their age by a year or two, will probably change their nationality as well. But essentially, it uses the existing players as Eamon Cowie. That's what we needed. Eamon Cowie, what a star. That's what we needed. Now we can feel a little bit comfortable, I hope. This means, now that I've said that, that means Molde are going to pull one back immediately. Here's Fofana. Fofana beats his man, takes fire. That's miles over. That's all right. Ryan had already covered that. I do apologise. Occasionally, and Richard, I need to read ahead before I respond, don't I, bless? Gattuso suddenly appearing would make anyone jump. Exactly. Here's Fofana. Fofana to pull one back. Atabulo, though, spreads himself and puts it behind. Now we need to just calm down a little bit. Right, Gomez with the corner. Zanotti gets the header. We're okay there. Let's drop that tempo. Drop being more expressive. Just a couple of things. Just a little bit of match management as Monterisi takes aim from distance, and that's over. Shaq, welcome in, my dude. How are you? No, we're doing all. You've not missed too much. We're about an hour and a half in. You've missed. This is our fourth game of the stream. We drew 0-0 away against Bologna, and we were rubbish. That's offside, surely. We then beat Sassuolo 2-0. We weren't particularly great, but we deserved the win at the very least. That wasn't offside. Oh, I'm not sure about that. We were then really good against Cagliari, but they are 20th in the league and failed to score 0-0. And now in this fourth game, we've played quite well, but Molde have just got back into it. Gengar, oh, that is tight. That is tight indeed. But, yeah, fair enough. So what is the situation with the momentum? Okay, it's back in our favour after that. Or not as much as I would like. Let's see where we can make those changes. We're going to make those changes up front because there's some bad performances going on there. We are also going to bring Bafundi on. I'm going to put that tempo back up, but we're going to go shorter. Right, Minans loses out to Rocha. Rocha to Zanotti. So can he do something before the final substitution? Nwama's in behind. Nwama. Oh, Nwama. That should have been a goal. There's a nice ball through from Isaac to Nwama. They're both now coming off. Look at the reinforcements coming, all running up at the last moment. Rocha on the edge of the area. That's a foul. Rocha's probably not the player I want there because he's left-footed. But Nato fires it over from the free kick. Delayed cam playback, still as glorious as ever. You gotta love it, don't you? Gotta love it. It's already 2-0 for Netherlands. Oh dear. Oh dear. Poor Johnson. Poor Johnson. Rocha into Carmona. Carmona. Come on now, lad. Here we go. Driving forwards. Carmona takes shot from the angle. It was at the near post. Relatively routine save for Mikkel Burst there. He would have been disappointed to have conceded. Supreme Kwan. It should have been a penalty. Shouldn't it just? Shouldn't it just? I'm sure there was like a little part of it in the box. Continued into the box for sure. But we are... I was going to say we are back on top, so that's at least something. But here we go. Molde with Holton to Mundal. Mundal finds Melskins. It's a good block from Profundi. Behind for a corner. Here we go. It's going to be the outswinger from Gomez with his left foot at the near post. Holton's the target, but Monterisi gets there. Carmona gets it clear. And we make next changes, which is going to involve Monterisi coming off. And Siklic will come on. And Navarro will come off. And Bockers will come on. I'm going to drop that tempo once more. Let's just try and conserve energy, I hope. So Ryan, going to walk your dog, but promise you'll be in streams more regularly. Just finished my last A-level. Congratulations on finishing that. No promises are needed, my dude. No promises. Have you got anything exciting planned for that? Yes! For your summer now. Your last summer of freedom, eh? It's miles offside. Miles offside. Damn. Bockers comes on, gets a yellow card pretty much straight away. We've got 5 minutes left and that... Oh, come on, guys. Theo's free kick gives it away. The shot's in. Siklic with the block. Out behind for a corner. That is careless. 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 Oh, my. Gomez with the corner, sends it in. Suki gets it clear. Wall now to Gomez, who's been left completely unattended. He's offside, though, and nothing will come of it. Let's see if we can take a free kick without giving the ball away stupidly. But look at that. Look at that. 9 shots, 1.88 XG. We can feel very fortunate to still be ahead. And that pass, though, will probably mean the end of the game. Last few seconds... And that does mean we're still 100% in the Champions League. To be fair, that was a good shot. You know, the own goal doesn't count for XG, but... Yeah, we got the win despite not being our best.
I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
So nice little bit of cash money there. Let's get these guys rested. Then it's Udinese next. What is the main team? The team is Reinders, Cajuste, Profundi back in, Palmer back in, Isuki Monterisi, Rod, Hernandez out wide. So that would be the full strength team. I'm sure we'll pick up an injury between now and then. So Ryan, you want to go to Barcelona, but you'll think you'll wait until September as you're not at uni until October. So a summer of just being 19 and having no responsibility. That sounds like a great plan. A great plan indeed. So you're resending a message. It said it didn't send. Ah, fair enough. I can see. Can I see? Well, I can see you saying I can see you saying nice and good. It's done for you, indeed. Sorry, I'm very slow. Tommaso, thank you for avenging Italy's horrible performance from yesterday. Nordic teams are always so hard to beat, though. Like Molde seem to be quite good now that Solskjaer's back with them in this save. Molde have been. I mean, I say that they're near the bottom of the Champions League group. I think they were 33rd going into it, but. Yeah, we scraped by. They are currently 34th though. They've lost all 3 games. They scored 3 goals against Ajax, but still lost a 5-3 defeat. They lost 1-0 to St. Pat's, and then obviously 2-1 to us there. Kerbenhaven down at the bottom currently with a -6 goal difference. Young Barcelona lost both their games so far. 4-2 to PSG, 1-0 to Liverpool. Barcelona, I mean, they are some tough opening games, to be fair. So, Ryan, you did media, history, and business. Just nice to have an extended period off, lol. Been at it non-stop with work and stuff too. I want to become a history teacher, so that's the aim. Oh, that will be awesome. Have you got your offer? Do you know which university I know it's all dependent on results and stuff, which I'm sure you'll be fine. But yeah, which uni do you have your eye on? We should stop asking you questions. You're meant to be walking your dog. I completely understand if you don't respond. So York is your main option. Oh, a fabulous choice. Lovely, lovely city, York. Yeah, that's cracking. So Rich, did teach some business, though econ was my main subject. I mean, I'm just saying this to wind you up, Rich, but business and econ, they're pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah. It doesn't really work as a wind up if I say I'm asking you to you know, I don't need to explain that. Right, so we are definitely... My PC does feel like it's been running a little bit slower today than normal. I did do a reset before we started. Maybe I need to... Yeah, possibly need to just maybe give it a clean. I haven't opened it up for a couple of weeks and vacuumed inside there. Maybe just a couple of little extra touches there. So Lincoln as your backup, that's also a nice choice. I wouldn't say that Lincoln's as nice a city to be fair, but yeah, Lincoln's solid for sure. Castorek, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. If you're comfortable chatting, who do you support? Who are you playing with FM? But if you're not comfortable, no obligation whatsoever. Feel free to lurk, my dude. Rich, just like Villa and Brum, Wolves and West Brom are all the same. Exactly. I mean, all football teams are all the same. You know, it just depends what colour of kit, and that's about it. A couple of weeks, rookie numbers. I mean, couple of weeks is pretty decent, right? Like, you just want a couple. Just a couple. Yeah, so, I mean, whilst we wait for it to process, what are people's plans? I know that we're halfway through the weekend, but does anyone have anything exciting planned for tomorrow? As Rich has mentioned, the weather is quite miserable here in England at the moment. I love miserable weather. It's an excuse to stay in and relax. But yeah, hopefully some of you got some nice weather, can go out and do some things. So Rich says, to be honest, in England, there should be just 4 teams. North, Midlands, South and London. I'm on board with that. I mean, I do think there might be some long-term issues with player development if there's only 4, you know, each week that there's a game, there's only 44 players that can start a match. It might be a little bit tricky to develop, and the England national team might suffer a bit. But then the England team can only beat Andorra 1-0, so they should probably fold anyway, right? So Cortiba, weather here is also shit. Haven't seen the sun in 4 days. Oh, that's not so good. Although it's now winter, isn't it? Essentially, Southern Hemisphere. So I suppose it is the time of year for it to be a little bit on the shitter side. Not that shit, obviously. But yeah, any indoor plans then for the weekend, Cortiba? So RJ, there's some annual festivities in your city. Is that a city-specific festivities, or is that national Belgium festivities? Rich has solved the conundrum. Have a field rather than a pitch, and hundreds of players on each side. Doesn't that start sounding like some of those Eton College weird games, like the Wall game and things like that? I know the Wall game, I think, is only actually 15 players on each side, but I'm sure there's like some offshoots of football played in the posh schools where it's like 100 players on each side, and there's weird rules about players having to sit out when certain things happen. So there's precedent for it for sure. But also if it's Eton based, it's full of wankers. So a difficult struggle there. So RJ, it's a city one. 1 week before the city where I went to school. Awesome. That's quite cool. So is there any like special event that happens during the festivities? Like, is there always some kind of like maybe a show or like a special market or something like that? Maybe some people get together and do a funny little dance. Those are my favorite types of celebrations. But then I would say that I'm English and I don't hate Morris dancing. I don't like Morris dancing, but I don't hate it. So no, it's like football used to be before Uppingham Eton. Masses of people fight over a ball, sheep's head, etc. That I can get on board with. Johnson, only 2-0 at half-time. We did hear, indeed. You even had a shot on target. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Right, our full-strength squad, virtually apart from Mosher, who's suspended. It is going to be a 4-3-3. Let's try... Let's try asking these guys to mark, first and foremost. Left side marks the right, right side marks the left. And let's see if we go for inverted winger rather than an inside forward. See if that makes a difference. And his average rating is 6.84 over the last 5 games. I just don't feel it's been working. I just don't feel, it doesn't feel right. So welcome in Mega Dasbra. You're pretty new to FM, doing a Nuremberg save. Finished 5th in the Zweite Bundesliga, then won the Zweite Bundesliga. Over the next 3 years, you got them to a mid-table Bundesliga side. And in 28-29, you finished 1 point off Europe. Fantastic work, Mega Daz. The next season, the same happened, but you won the DFB Pokal, and now in the Europa League. Brilliant stuff. It sounds like you're having a great save and you're enjoying it. And so RJ, a Whit Monday is a big day in Soignies, marked by the Tour Saint-Vincent and its historical procession. The prayer walk around the city dates back to at least 1262. Its route covered just over 10 kilometers. That sounds awesome. It sounds like quite cool. From 6 a.m, the reliquaries are carried and escorted by the confreres of St. Vincent and the pilgrims from chapel to chapel. These contain the bones of St. Vincent, his wife, Saint Wardrew, and 2 of their 4 children, Saint Landry and Cy. A whole family of saints. Now that feels like favoritism. That definitely feels like favoritism. I do like a good traditional ceremony. I'm not big on the religion side of things, but like when you have the walks and processions and things like that, I think they're quite cool. It's something fun and different. Right, we are going to say, let's go with the media. They've been asking me to say the media thing for the last few games, so let's go with that. An away game against Udinese. I'm hoping that the back 3 will free up the roaming playmaker to be a little bit better. Here's Nuama to Reinders to Profundi. Profundi can't get past a Kellenkamp, but he keeps the ball. Reinders turns back inside, finds Cajuste. Cajuste over the top. Reinders is in behind. Can he get it across? It's a good block. It's out for a corner. Cartiba, there's a uni party next week, but not really your thing. We'd rather watch a good movie. How was the end of the French-Canadian movie you were watching the other night? Did you feel it was worth the full watch? I know you were surprised that it was quite decent about halfway through. John, sir, a stupid individual mistake 5 minutes into the game really cost us here. Also, Netherlands had the exact same pattern of play a couple of times before that led to the second goal. So frustrating goals to concede. Also quite bad box defending on that second one. That's a shame. But as we said before the game, it's always going to be a difficult game. It's very frustrating when it comes down to mistakes that could have been avoided. But that's what makes good teams good and not quite so good teams not so good. Is, you know, they capitalize on those mistakes. They wait for those moments. It happens. I think 2-0's not awful. It's not good. Could be worse. Socorro Chiba, the first act was really good, but then it just derailed into madness with some bananas plot twists that add nothing to the film. That sounds great. Go abstract. Love a little bit of derailing. So RJ, Saint Wardrew, the wife, is the one who founded Mons, the other city I was talking about, and why it's linked. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right, ease off tackles on Menya. Let's wait until this highlight has played. Here's Reinders. Back to Bjorn. Bjorn Rod out to Theo. Theo gets it to Cajuste. We've got Palmer there. He's dropped off. Takes the shot from distance. Sanchez doesn't deal with it particularly convincingly, but there's no one following up. Right, we've got a free kick. Bonato has scored a nice free kick this season, and once again he gets it on target, but it's too close to Sanchez and pushed over. Josh Stanforth, welcome in, my dude. Hey, matey. New to the channel after a very long FM. I fell out of love with it. That's understandable. Last couple of weeks, you found a new love for it since watching your videos. I would love to start a Moneyball save. However, I don't even know where to start with what are good stats for each position and role. Any advice? Play a season. So don't sign anyone to start off with. Use that time to get used to your players, see how they do, understand your tactic, and then use the players you've got as your comparison point. So if you've got a right back and you want him to be creating chances, take that away from me. Sorry to stop talking over halfway through that sentence. We've got a goal. Jens Kajuse, bless him. Yeah, use your player. So if you want a right back who's going to be getting assists, look to see what he's doing and see if you can improve. It's the easiest way to start to understand what you're looking for is to use the players that are already there. So John Sir, with the ball improved towards the end of the half, initially just give the ball to Ant-Man and hope he does something, but you've had some nice attacks, just lacked the final pass. You need to bring on Timu Pukki. I mean, he's not going to help you with the final pass. He's probably not going to help you with finishing because he is starting to get on a bit, but at least for the memes. So Draw asked, it's a good question. Do you think a player like Littmanen could emerge in Finland in the future, or is there no chance? So how do you feel? Do you think there's a good hope for that, Johnson? So not quite at that level, but you are confident about the under-21s in general. Let's say something positive. We haven't said anything positive at halftime for a while, so we'll do that. Kasarak, Kasarak, sorry, are you... Oh, you're not. I thought for a moment you might be the same person as Josh, but that you're both on Twitch, and I'm being very slow. But also haven't played FM for a while, trying to get back into it. Used your skin, simulated a year into the save. Now you're looking for some options. Well, exactly the same as what we've just said there, in fact. Right, let's make some changes. Profundi's booked. Zanotti comes on. Rod, I'm fine with. Let's just stick with that. So, I mean, I feel like we've had a decent amount of chances, but they're actually not great that quality. Here's Isaacson with the corner. Motta's going to get there, and Motta's going to equalise. You saw as soon as that went into that middle area, Motta looked to be so much taller than everyone else. Like it was a giant in there. It's a beautiful delivery. That's kind of the deliveries we've been wanting for our corners, in at that kind of 6-yard box area. But that's it. So safe pair of hands. You need to pop on over to Twitch, I'm afraid. Could you stay to redeem the bit? There we go. An immediate response. Jens Kajuse proving to be a hero. Momentum-wise, it's not looking great in this second half, to be frank with you. And Reinders spends time dwelling on the ball, loses out, and Sepp comes away with it, but Zanotti is back to cover. Good work from Zanotti. Reinders, once again, taking his time. Moves it back to Hisuki. We're going all the way back to the keeper. We're just waiting for the pressure to come so we can play it forwards. Bonato loses out. Kajuse is there, the star of the game so far. Kajuse wins it back. And now he finds Reinders to Bonato, who's got space, can push forwards. Instead, he finds Theo out wide. Theo gets the cross into Palmer. Palmer to Kajuse on the hat-trick. Kajuse's shot is blocked. Oh, that would have been nice. Here's Monterisi. The chance might still be on. Zanotti drives, sends the shot, stings the gloves of Sanchez and behind for a corner. That corner, though, we are going to say... Are we going to just go defensive midfield, but with that dribble more and get further forwards? And that's going to be Kari coming on. We're going to try Carmona. He had a couple of good chances in the other game. Almost scored a goal, so we'll give it a try. See if he's any better in that regards. Sir John, sir, probably not quite that level in that. Matthias Siltonen is your most promising player right now. Was on Man City's and Juve's shortlist. That would, I mean, do you hope that he doesn't get a move to that level so that he's got maybe more chance of first team football and proper development? Here's Monchu driving forwards. I can't speak. That was bad commentary. Backs with the shot. It was a great challenge in the end from Rod because it looked like Udinese were about to be in behind. Monchu with the corner sends it in. Monterisi gets there. Motta sends it back in. Atabulu claims. Let's drop this down. Let's just have a little bit more control on the game. In fact, we're even going to go down to balanced. I haven't seen anything of... we've just got the one left. So we're going with... Siklic is going to replace Monterisi as well. Just to give us some fresh legs in that back line. Make sure that we don't switch off. Okay, momentum staying in our favour. That's what I'm hoping. You know, we can just kill the game. Doesn't necessarily have to be exciting for the last 5 minutes. But maybe there's a chance here for Udinese. Motta driving through the lines, tries to play it forwards, but Hasuki cuts it out. Pass to Bonato is under hit. Now Luke Shack can drive at the defence. Luke Shack, 3 players around him, finds Fresneda. Fresneda skips around the outside, sends the cross into Dembasek. It's not cleared. Van der Man with the equaliser. Oh, you bastard. You bastard. Oh. Oh, well. Welcome in, NC the Gaffer. Thank you very much for the follow. All safe place for hands. Are we planning on this being your final club of the safe? There are no restrictions, no rules. We don't specifically stick at a club. We don't specifically look to move on. We let the game's narrative happen naturally, organically, potentially. And I shouldn't have been talking to you. I should have been making some changes to go more attacking in that, because we had like 15 minutes to respond. Oops. Let's go. Probably not going to see anything in these last few moments. Or are we going to see a late winner? Monchu to Vanaman. Vanaman into Motta. Motta. Atabolo gets down at the near post. Oh, we're going to lose this, aren't we? We're going to lose this. Oh, dear. Oh, the Dutch FM is in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you doing? If you guys aren't following the Dutch FM, you most definitely should. What a lovely gentleman. As Atabolo makes a save again. Just get the ball clear. Fucking hell. Oh my word. Lushak, this the last few moments. This will be another disappointing draw. Threw it away, lads. Threw it away. John, sir, there's a case to be made that Littman was robbed of the Ballon d'Or the year where I won it. That's fair. Siltonen rejected both of them. Marvellous. I can't speak. Is that a darts reference? Is that a darts? I don't think there's a darts reference. I know nothing about darts. I can't speak. Add sign for Djurgården and sign for Djurgårdens in Sweden. That's a good move. Right, so main problems with the player development in Finland is that their technique ability with the ball is not concentrated enough. Instead, it's all about the tactical side of it too early. Also, compared to other nations, young Finnish players are less physically fit. Fair enough. A bottle has been thrown to Hungdamin. My word. Right, Rod is tired again, so let's give him some extra rest. Give him 3 days. We'll pop back. So what we were doing, what we changed since the last stream, this is what we were doing before. It was that, but I then moved it up. So let's just go. I mean, those changes shouldn't be enough to suddenly change us being shit. Like changing an inside forward to a trequartista. But let's go back to that. See if that just improves our fortunes a little bit, I hope. Just a little bit of hope. Sung Min, at least you could teach kids something. In Vietnam, we teach nothing. Just vibes. Just vibes. So, John, so look up Michael Van Gerwen versus Michael Smith 9 data for the I Can't Spake reference. Fair enough. Fair enough. I never knew that the I Can't Spake was a darts reference. I've never got into darts. As someone that used to go down to social clubs a lot during my youth. So social clubs are I don't know what the equivalent would be elsewhere, but they're kind of like, well, they're working class members only pubs. Normally with a lot of bar games, so your pools, your darts and things like that. And we used to go there a lot, play darts every week. I just never got into it. Never got into it at all. Oh, marvelous stuff as well. We have an ad break coming up shortly. So in a few minutes, what I'll do is I'll bring it forwards because that we've got the game coming up. So we'll get ourselves up to the game, and then we'll bring the ad forward so we can pop into that game without having to worry about it being interrupted. Because I used snooze before the last set of breaks. So I've only got 1 3-minute snooze left, which probably won't be enough to get us through the game without interruption, unfortunately. So Johnson, to be fair, the commentator of that game nabbed the line from a rugby football game. Can't remember which one. Fair enough. Tommaso, you have them in Italy too. Perfect. I'm sure that they exist all over the world. It's just I don't know what the, like, I feel like social club is a, I mean, social club does explain it perfectly, but yeah, it's just I don't know how well that translates. Right, John, so the second half is underway now, so you'll be back after the game if you're still on. Hopefully so, and I hope the second half goes better. I mean, even if it's just 0-0 in the second half, that's surely something that you can build upon, right? Right, Milan are favourite for the Helas Verona. We couldn't score against bottom of the table Cagliari. So can we score against 18th place Helas Verona? That's the question. I'm not feeling confident at the moment. It seems that we've been a little bit shite. And I'll be honest, I have a feeling that trying to play this diamond probably isn't the best approach. But I don't want to, like, when we have a philosophy that we build around within the save, and you know, we moved towards the diamond because whilst we were in Germany, we started to see a lot of the diamond being used, and it felt appropriate once we then moved to Milan as well with its history. So we might need to look at what's going on in the game world to see where we take our influences to move next. You know, we're not going to go full out gegenpress either. We're going to stick to that. The mid block is a through thread through the save as well. But yeah, we might need to look at finding some tweaks that come naturally from the game world itself. Whilst being aware that we have just completely built the squad around this diamond idea. But with like Isaac, with Carmona, we've got players that can stretch. We don't really have a big man. So as Zirachul was mentioning earlier, we might need to find our Davi Selka in January. But that said, I mean, Isaac and Palmer are both capable in the air. So big man plan B is never wrong. Indeed. I mean, that's what we had with Elena Kano, right? So when we were playing the more traditional diamond, we had a complete forward who was Elena Kano, who could therefore be your target man as well as your threat in behind. He was like 6'3" or whatever. We had Xerxes. But then as we moved to the 3-4-3 towards the end of last season, and things seemed to be working that way, it kind of, we didn't need that style of player. And it looks like I got it wrong. But there we go. So the lineup for this game, we have another away game to follow, Marseille in the Champions League. So we will make some changes with that in mind. Those changes will be Zanotti. We're going to give Carmona the start. We're going to give Kerem the start. Washer comes back into the squad, but Kajuste will stay in that role. Kari will come in. No, Rod's back, that's fine. We'll give Siklic the start and rest Hasuki. So something like that, I think. So we're ready to go once we come back from the break. So it'll be about three minutes or so. We'll come back from the break. We'll be ready to go into the game against Helas Verona. So I will see you in a few minutes. And we're back, as Sarachal has redeemed a minigame. It's time for a round of bingo. So if you haven't been around whilst we've played bingo in the past, let me explain how the game works. There's links in chat. Every single player gets themselves a unique bingo card with 16 squares on it, with clubs, players, competitions, managers. We then all get the exact same list of 60 players in the same order, and we've got to identify whether they match one of those squares. If they do, we click on it. Once we click on a square though, you can't undo it. You can't put another player there. So if someone later comes up that definitely fits there, you've got to be a little bit careful. If they don't, you can skip or you can let the timer run out. You get 10 seconds per player. I'm going to leave it, give it about a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so to give people a chance to sign up. So you just pop on over to that link and that'll let you into the game. Yeah, let's play around a bingo. NC the Gaffer, as we were saying, I think Ajay, certainly with the Everton series that we've just had, we had Ajay on we had Ajay in the Championship, and he was kind of serviceable as a backup at that level. I think the Premier League might just be a step too far for him. But yeah, potentially there as an emergency option. Certainly not the worst choice, but I think Zeratul is also right. You can find some very good players for loan that will probably be an improvement on what you've got there. Especially if you want to be careful with managing your money as well. If you can wait until the end of the transfer window, you can usually get loans without having to pay a fee, and sometimes on lower wages too. So you can get some very, very good players which won't require spending a significant amount of your budget on the loans themselves. So I can see that we've got some United talk. So we've got Liverpool on Verts, Chelsea on Gittins, Arsenal on Sesko. Meanwhile in Old Trafford, got the Brazilian. You've got Anthony coming back. Surely that's the most important bit, right?
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh my, Showerlander, welcome in. Thank you very much. Subscribe with Prime. You only get one of those. I really, really appreciate you've chosen to use it here. Nice to catch a stream for once in a while. Usually the schedule isn't compatible. I do apologise for that, but I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed the Everton videos. It's really, really nice series that for me to make. I've really enjoyed it. I'm glad that it's been received well. Showerlander, the runner-up in the Muster draft a little while back. There will be some more news about another community tournament coming up in a little while. Lovely to see you, my dude. Right, and we are ready to start the round of bingo. So I'm going to click start now. So head on over to your browser window so you can play along. Old Trafford needs new midfielders. Old Trafford needs pretty much everything. So NC the Gaffer, just a quick thing. You've created your own spreadsheets when it comes to FM. Would you like me to share the template? So I don't think you can share in chat here, I'm afraid. By all means, feel free to pop it in Discord if you want to. I'm sure there'll be people who would appreciate that. Sergio Busquets now. I do need to pay attention to what's going on. I'm sure he must have won the Champions League. So we're going to go with that. Soyonchu Leicester. Let's play that. So yeah, feel free to pop it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, there is a link coming up in the chat in a moment. Mark Andre ter Stegen. We'll play that one with Bayern. David Ginola. Must have retired from France too early for Giroud, surely. What a player he was. What a player. Brian Laudrup as well. Some great players coming through here. So yeah, RJ was exactly the same. They need a player in every position. Anthony the Goat needs a wind tunnel to balance balloons in. Doesn't he just? Right, Manuel Akanji managed by Guardiola. Silvinho for Arsenal and Barcelona. Rafael Guerrero. I'm not sure Guerrero matched any of those, so I'll let that one run through. Højbjerg. I don't think he matched any of those. That one can go as well. Seb Larson. There's a Sunderland legend, right, Rich? Seb Larson. What is your feelings on Larson? Because he's one of those players that did very well for assists because he took set pieces. Always felt a little bit underwhelming in open play to me, but I never watched him week in, week out. So, that's probably a little bit biased in that regard to my, I'm only viewing it through the lens of highlights. Tommaso Pobega, let's give that a squip. A squip. That's a word that definitely exists. Hristo Stoichkov. Gonna pass on that. Nathan Ake we can play. Joshua King we can play. Ashley Cole. Was there overlap between Cole and Giroud? I'm not going to risk it. Sergio Ramos, we can skip there. Vidal. I don't think he matches any. I'm sure I'm wrong in that regards. Quaresma can go. Wiltord. Not feeling any connection there. Or with Ruben Diaz. Agerd, no. Phil Foden. Java Schlager. I think we're already. I'm already at least in the skip, the mass skipping. None of these are shouting out to me. And Narky Williams, Daniel Sturridge. Joe Hart. Could Joe Hart have had any crossover with Giroud? I don't think so. Balogun. I'm going to say that there was at least one game where they were both in the squad at the same time. I doubt it, but I'm going for it anyway. Lunin for Ukraine. Sigankov for Ukraine as well. Teremoffi. I don't know where he was before Nice, so we'll let that one go. Justin Kluivert. A reminder that that's not Patrick Kluivert, the mistake that I made last night. We've got Bojan. We've got Robinho. We've got Alessio Romagnoli. Jeremy Menez. Bukayo Saka. Surely he hasn't won the top division Golden Boot. Petit. Jean-Dahl Thomason. So my knowledge of Belgian players isn't great. So we are. I'm holding out for a Belgian player and an obvious. Was Mbemba at Anderlecht? Oh, RJ, you're gonna be criticizing me heavily, I'm sure. Diaz, Isco, Batshuayi, Courtois, Harry Kane, top division. We will go that. Wait a second, Mbemba was in Anderlecht. Brilliant, fabulous. But hey, and look at that, GNG with 15 out of 16. Sensational work. Draw currently in second with 14. We've got a tie for third between Hung De Min and Potato, and Schauerlander currently in fifth. Now, we do still have some people to finish, so those scores might change in a moment. Klinsmann never won the Golden Boot in the World Cup. Balogun doesn't count as wasn't at Arsenal at the same time as Giroud. Boo to that. Disappointed to hear that indeed. So El Norby has just jumped into third, pushing Hung De Min and Potato down to joint fourth. A great 13 out of 16. Sensational stuff. So a bingo is impossible, man, says Hung De Min. We had last night. We had So we had draw got bingo on the first game. Crudmo and Zerachal got bingo on the second game. It was a night full of bingos last night. Sensational stuff. You're going to lose your UCL spot. You're hanging in there with Potato. I mean, ignore my score. That doesn't count. I don't exist. So you are currently in fourth. So you might just about hang on if the coefficients work in our favour, right? That is some fabulous work there. Skern comes in, pops in. He's unfortunately just outside the top 5 there. But still, 11 is fantastic work there. Who was the Boca player? You had Boca and Villarreal. I didn't get through the full lot. I'm not sure if I can think of any Boca players that came up, but also I have very, very short-term memory, so I wouldn't have remembered anyway. I will check back on the scores to see what results for those that come in late, but let's head on back into the game and let's kick things off with a good result against Helas Verona. So back to that 4-3-3. I mean, as we say, the 4-3-3, the 3-4-3, they're the exact same formation, really, in possession anyway. We're going to put our hands on our hips. This is a match we should be winning. I expect you to play well. We make sure that you're marking the right back. Make sure you're marking the left back. Let's see how we get on. I mean, we're in trouble if we we haven't played any big games, right? So we played Napoli the opening game of the season, but we've still got to play Inter, we've got to play Juve, we've got to play Fiorentina, and yet we're dropping points regularly here. Okay, our draw against Empoli's not looking quite as bad considering they're up in 5th right now. Right, opening exchange. We're 15 minutes into the game, not a single shot. That's about to change here as Siklic heads it wide. Let's demand some more. Decent chance. Ball share is up very, very high, so we will probably increase the tempo as well. A Lingvar out to Bruno. Bruno, Geka is in loads of space. Just easily brushes past Zanotti, who wins the tackle though in the end. Kari into Kajuste. Kerem plays it back. Doesn't look for the overlap. What's he doing here? He's going to drive inside. Going to play it to Zanotti. Zanotti now takes the ball further wide. Feeds Nuama. Nuama. That's a weird pass, Nuama. Monterisi into Siklic. Siklic over the top. Kerem will get there. Kerem will cut back inside. Finds Kajuste. Kajuste fires it. Just over. We are increasing the tempo already because that high ball share. Right, we want to make sure that we're trying to batter them down before they settle completely. Here's Zanotti. Zanotti has to dig one out to the far post. Kari with a header. Boom, that's what we needed. Kari and Kajuste have been our saviours so far. Welcome in, by the way, that Timo. How are you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. Now, if you guys aren't following that Timo, you most definitely should as well. Another member as Kerem. Oh. Up in the corner over on Twitch, you should see a little link to follow that Timo. Another part of the FMNL team, an absolute gentleman, well worth a follow. As Kerem, it's more goals from set pieces. I do feel like I need to check how many set piece goals we've scored this season. It feels like a lot. Again, let's say something positive at halftime because I haven't had many opportunities to be positive. We will drop the tempo back down. I mean, we're going to stay at slightly higher. So we should still maintain some of that momentum, but just save ourselves a little. Rasmus Højlund is in the... I assume that's Rasmus. Theo gets himself... It's Oscar Højlund. Theo gets himself in the book. He's off tackles. Move that down. Goebbels sends it in. Luca gets it back to Goebbels. Goebbels feeds with Dagoberto Redondo. And there we go. Are we going to throw it away again? We're going to throw it away again, aren't we? The goal's going to stand. Goebbels. Surely there's like, I get it. It's a real surname, but that's not a surname you want to have in this day and age. You change that for sure. Sure, you change that, right? So Zerachul, by the way, joint top. 15 out of 16. You thought that Sheringham was a golden boot. How frustrating. How frustrating. Right, let's make the change then. Navarro is on because of the yellow card. Ease off tackles off. Let's drop to the 3-4-3. Give ourselves a bit more security. Back there. More defensive options. Siklic is a defender. That's why I like having the defender in that role. Kerem from the free kick again. Hits the bar. Monterisi with the follow-up. Raimondi, though, gets back up and is able to claim. Right, Iglesias now. We win it with Cajuste, but Goebbels comes away with it. Goebbels. Driving forwards. Redondo. Zanotti comes in. Kari sweeps up all the way back to Atabolo. Look out this way. There we go. We've got 2 players over. It's Navarro who gets it. Navarro does a little spin on the spot. Goes inside to Kari. Navarro feeds Carmona. Carmona, good first touch. Spreads it out wide. Nuama. Nuama confines Zanotti. Zanotti back in. Nuama to Siklic. Passes loose from Siklic though. Carmona couldn't get there. We keep the pressure on though. A poor clearance there from Verona. Kari drives forwards. Fires it a little bit too close to Raimondi, who gets down, pushes it round the post on the left-hand side there. Nuama. He's going to take that corner. Finds Navarro on the edge of the area. Albert Navarro. Boom.
Ain't nobody I'd rather be. They can't take that away from me.
That is what we needed. 3-1 up. Hopefully we should be a little bit safer from here. Cajuste now. As we look to find a fourth, Kerem picks it up, feeds in. Navarro again off the post, and it deflects off the defender. Just crawls centimetres wide of the post there. Almost a comical own goal. Right, Nuama finds Navarro on the edge of the area again. Gets it back. The flag's going to go up. No, it's not. Navarro sends it in. Lingvar gets the header. Hoyland puts it behind. Right, Carmona. Probably going to be the next player to come off. We're probably going to look at making sure that we keep players fresh as well for the upcoming game away against Marseille. Right, Carmona. Carmona loses out to Lovato. Lovato into Hoyland. Here's Grigera. Jose Grigera plays it in. Goebbels loses out to Bjorn Rod, and Kari sends it over the top. Carmona's in behind. Carmona on his weaker left foot, but Lovato closes it down, deflects it behind for a corner. That corner's going to be taken by Kerem. Kerem's going to swing it into that middle area. Siklic beaten in the air. Only as far as Nuama. To Zanotti. Has to go back to Kari. Zanotti gets it once again, takes a shot. That's behind for a corner. Onyemachi with a block this time. Right, Carmona off. Isaac on. Are we going for pizza pasta? Welcome in, David. Welcome in, Raiders. How are you all doing? Lovely to see you. You arrive almost every time you arrive, whilst we have been having a little bit of a questionable run. We've drawn a lot of games this stream, but we're currently 3-1 up. This is season 10. This is our second season with AC Milan. We were runners-up in the league, runners-up in the Champions League last season, and we're currently in 4th. How was the raid, David? How is everything going with you? You glorious man, and you arrive for pizza pasta to make it 4. Bullshit indeed. Welcome in, Craig, as well. Lovely to see you. Now, if you guys aren't following David, he's a glorious gentleman. You will often find him playing FM. You will occasionally find him playing Euro Truck Simulator as well. Absolutely worth a follow. A delightful Dane that can lick his elbow. The most important thing you need to know about anyone is whether they can lick their elbow or not. Isaac sends it out wide to Akhtar Goglu. Kerem now finds Navarro. Navarro, can he get the crossing? He can indeed, and Nuama's the target. It goes over both their heads. Kari fed. It's another block behind for a corner. Well, we have some substitutions left, so we're going to bring them on. We're going for Mosconi and Rocha will come back into the lineup. I assumed that we weren't going to score from that highlight, and thankfully we didn't. David, you might have called me a demigod of FM, so you need to show us how it's done. Oh dear, I don't think I can live up to that, I'm afraid. I definitely can't live up to that, as Mosconi stings the fingertips of Raimondi. Another great save. D-Boy plays us in as well. Welcome in. Lovely to see that. Hi, how are you doing? Hung Min wants to look up. You've gone for the look up rather than the player rename, but that's okay. I will rename a player for you indeed. We can name someone Doner Kebab. I'm sure we can find someone for you. We'll do that after the game. How are you, D-Boy, as well? Lovely to see you. So the stream was absolutely wonderful. You won the South African second tier after 6 months there and can now tick off T from the alphabet list. Fantastic. Okay, so if you were T, does that mean you were is it Shaq? Can I think of a team beginning with T in South Africa? I'm not sure I can, evidently. There's Shakshua. There is who else? Richards Bay doesn't begin with a T. Kaiser Chiefs, Sundowns, they're all going to be top level teams. Golden Arrows. Oh, I'm struggling to think of second division South African teams. That is what are we going for? So Pizza Pasta going to get himself a pay rise. Disallowed goal. El Norby, I'm disappointed too as well. Hung them in. Let's go then. We have got Ilan Siklic can be the option there. We'll go and name him in. We have Doner Kebab alongside Pizza Pasta and Bjorn Rod in the heart of our defence for sure. They are a top team from the start, but got relegated the season we took the move. Marvellous. That makes me, you won't even correct that typo. You don't need to. You don't need to at all. Right, let's have a look at the DSTV Premiership, because I'm disappointed in myself for not being able to remember. Does it not show you the teams? Interesting. So do I have to go through here and then go maybe South Africa and then go for a list of clubs? TS Galaxy. I wouldn't have guessed that in a number of years. Where's the team I'm thinking of? Oh, actually, the team I was thinking of, this one here, Shakuma, but I'm not sure Shakuma actually exists anymore. From what I remember, I think they're one of the teams that sold their license. So they might exist, but they've now dropped down 4 divisions and someone else has taken them over. It's all very, very crazy in South Africa. So it is indeed the Tim Suzuki Galaxy, the Tim Sukazi Galaxy. So what's the next move for you? So for those that don't know, David is doing an alphabet challenge where he's got to win something with a club beginning with each letter of the alphabet. So yeah, what is the next move? Let's get these guys all rested up. Marseille next. At least in the Champions League, we're in a good one, so that's all right. Because we did do a mover, so there we go. Perfect. Delicious defence. We're gone to the A-League. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So, whoa, we're looking... I mean, there's loads of teams in the... Actually, there's not that many, is there? Because it's quite a small division. What would be a good letter to get out of the way? Have you got W? Going for the Wollongong Wolves? No, beginning with N. Okay, so is it going to be like a North Queensland Ninnies or the Dunedin's in
We are in Champions League, man.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Dunedin's in New Zealand, so it won't be like what fun names could we have for Australian clubs? So Wollongong Wolves are in the NPL actually. Disappointing, because they have a great name. That is a sensational name. I do like a little bit of alliteration for sure. Adelaide, Sydney, Perth, Melbourne are Melbourne something, or is there a team with new in there? New Zealand teams playing the A-League. Right, I'm going with the Dunedin Dromedaries. I know they don't believe with N. I know that dromedaries aren't native to New Zealand, but it is a fun name for sure. They don't exist as a football team at all. Let's have a look here at the A-League, see which team we could be looking at potentially. Does it not have a hyphen in there? Are we just going to have to say Australia? There's a link to Perth, kind of. That's a weak link, though. Fair enough. What teams are we looking at? Here we go. We have Melbourne Victory, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Western Sydney Warriors, Central Coast Warriors, Brisbane, Newcastle. Of course, the Newcastle Jets. Disappointing. Disappointing. I should know the Newcastle Jets after all. And I say that, I mean, maybe someone's got promoted. Could it actually be Northcote City? I hope it's Northcote City. Or there's a lot of lower league teams. We'll be here forever if I try and run through all of them. There is no promotion. There we go. There we go. I'm taught a thing there right now. So Newcastle Jets it is. Marvellous. Oh, goal of the month. Perham's free kick there comes in third. That's nice. 2 goals there. Oh, it's Julian Bass, not Yuri Bass. I thought it was Yuri Bass when we played them earlier on this season. And Navarro's made it into the team of the month, which is marvellous. Didn't say it was a good link. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Cool. Away from home, I think we're going to focus on the transition phase. Let's swap back there. Let's stick with the trequartista. Inside, hold up ball. Drop back down to shorter. And it's a couple of days before we actually need to set the line up. That's a draw. At the time, Fabio Grosso was supposed to sign for the A-League, but they refused because they claimed he had dived for a penalty in the World Cup match between Italy and Australia. That's so dumb. So dumb. Surely, regardless of the circumstances, you welcome a player of Grosso's quality. Almost any opportunity, right? RJ, where is Crodmo when he actually needs the mod? To be fair, he would have probably been slower than me still anyway. But none of these matter. We will be looking at scouting probably once December comes round, so that we can plan before the window opens. But until then, we want to leave it as late as possible so we've got as much data as we can. So David, you did deliberate whether to count them as as J, because as per my rules, they should be known as the Jets. But which other Jets teams are there in football? I mean, there's only one, right? Surely the only other important Jets team, and that's in the real football. That's clearly the New York Jets, the football which is barely played with the foot whatsoever. Bless them. The New York Jets hand egg team. Right, so the change we'll bring Hisuki back in, Monterisi back as a libero, Navarro in. We can get Profundi back out there. We can get Rocha back out there. We'll get Palmer back out there and Bonato. So close to a full strength team for this game. There's Navarro as our rotation. I'm going to put Carmona up front but on the right. So that's our 2 rotation pieces, right? Navarro, Carmona, otherwise a relatively full strength team. And they're playing a 4-2-3-1. So if we can, I'm quite happy with a draw here. If we can just avoid defeat, that will give us 10 points after the first 4 games. Let's stick with the media stuff that worked for us last time out.
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh my, Zerachol, what a gentleman. What a gentleman. That is, give subscriptions to Ari a Little Pony, to Meanwolf 78, to Basketballer 33, to Jack So Back, and to FM Russ. What a gentleman you are. What a gentleman. The Winnipeg Jets is football on ice. It's all counts. All counts. Was that Sid Waddle? It is not. It is Ray Hudson. The glorious Ray Hudson. So you really can't think of any other soccer ball teams named Jets. So I'm going to have to count them as that. That makes sense. Plus, it's nice to get rid of the J letter potentially. Lots of N's. Not so many. I suppose there's like Juventus are quite a big J team out there. Can you count it as both? Can you cross off both N and J potentially? Oh, let me mute the desktop audio. Here comes Carmona. Carmona can't quite get the chance. Rocha follows it up, takes the deflection. Got a corner. Chance to do something here. So even if it causes outrage, I think you should count it as both. Or wait until you get later on into the save and you don't know what's going to come up, whether it's going to be an N or a J team, and you've got free choice. No one minds a little bit of post-haste revisionism. Like Hasuki has to go back to Bjorn. Bjorn's going to play inside to Monterisi. Benato drifting in off that left-hand side. Plays it back once more. Monterisi to Kari. Kari plays it to Profundi and Carmona's in behind. Carmona absolutely fluffs his chance though. That should have been a goal. Bless him. Bless him. Absolutely not. No cheating allowed. Nobody but myself minds that. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I suppose at the same time, it's not cheating if you're the one setting the rules. As Palmer glances it towards goal. In fact, it came off Matteo Lecombe behind for yet another corner. We've seen this so far quite a bit tonight. The games where we play well, we don't win. The games where we play badly, we've won one and we've drawn one. So we don't necessarily win the games we play badly either. But a good start so far. We're creating chances. We've got a lot of the ball. Monterisi out wide to Navarro. Just hooks it in there. Vasquez, though. Don't know why he headed that. Carmona picks up the loose ball. Profundi in for the egg. Oh, it's a great save. Emil Ordero diving full stretch to his right. Tips it round the post. Benato with the corner. Sends it in. Emiru Hasuki is the target. Comes out as far as Palmer. Palmer skips over the challenge. Profundi tries to get it back there. Santos gets it clear, though. The chance may have gone for now. Or has it? Kari skips past his man, feeds Profundi, the cross is in, Lecombe gets there, clears it away. Now here comes Ekatike. Hugo Ekatike, man of my dreams, Hugo Ekatike. Here's Okafor, it's Ekatike once more. Ekatike with a shot deflected, bobbles on the way through to Atabolo. And we come away with it. So the XG is in our favour. Momentum is very much in our favour as well. Into the last 10 minutes though. Highlights starting with a free kick here for Marseille. Lecombe into Reina, back to Brecht. Brecht breaking the fourth wall and breaking the lines there. And here he is at the edge of the area, fires it over. Let's fire these guys up. I want to see fight. I want to see determination into the last 10 minutes perhaps. So NC the Gather, love the newest Everton series by the way. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was great fun to make. I'm delighted it's been received well. Here we go on the counter-attack. Bjorn Rod finds Kari. Profundi is over, but Profundi's touch is poor and Reina makes the tackle. Ekatike sweeps up the loose ball. Vasquez now. Into Brecht. Has to go back to Lecombe. We're meant to be dropping into a mid-block here. We're getting caught quite high. Maybe that's the result of me telling them to trying to fire them up. They've lost a little bit of discipline. Now Reina takes aim from the edge of the area. Always going over, otherwise a little bit on the straight side. So we've had a few chances in the last 10 minutes for Marseille. Since we tried to get a grip on it, we stay 70% ball share. But we've not had as many shots in the last few moments. So Hands on hips. Keep working hard. Let's increase that tempo. Let me... I can't see what did we get for the hype train. I have no idea. I can't see it. There we go. You've got something that says Toff Toff. I can't find the emoji myself. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I don't think we make any changes at half time. Renato, we're really struggling with our left hand side there. Renato, I mean, Kerem got a decent rating last time round with that beautiful free kick. But Renato is struggling once more. Here's Lacombe from the kickoff. Andre Santos out to Reina. Hopefully with the tempo up, we can try and take a little bit of initiative there. So Mega Consume. Let's see if I can find Mega Consume now. Mega. My lovely little chat extension doesn't... there we go. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, my chat extension doesn't seem to work with the custom emojis. I probably need to use something else. Right, Carmona gets in. Here's the challenge. Carry now to Profundi. Drives forward. Carmona's just standing there. Who needs to run, Carmona? Just stand there in the wrong place so Profundi can take your role. That's better. Carmona, beat your man. Send it in. Or go back to Kari. That's fine. Kari turns back. Rocha feeds Navarro. Navarro with a shot. Ordero tips it round the post. Z3 is Norwegian. Oh no, Z3 is Norwegian. Z3 most definitely is. And what a result. What a result for Norway yesterday as well. How did Denmark get on? How did Denmark play yesterday or today? I honestly rubbish at keeping up with games. Right, momentum back in our favour, but we need some goals. So you drew with Northern Ireland today. That's a little underwhelming. Right, here comes the changes, and the changes are... What are the changes going to be? The changes are going to be... all of them. Let's go Isaac, Nuama, Kerem, Bokkers. Get that tempo up once more, back down to shorter. Focus play through the middle. Still on that positive mentality. As I said, a draw here would be a good result. 10 points in our opening 4 games will put us in a strong position for the second half. We've got the game against Arsenal out the way, which is obviously a huge thing, but there are some tricky games coming up. But no idea, because it's just fun. Exactly, isn't that the problem with the games at the moment? We've got some World Cup games, but otherwise friendlies. It's the end of the season for most. Nobody cares anymore. Right, it's a good challenge there. Andre Santos gets it back to Ordero. Are Marseille going to hit us with a sucker punch? They send it long. And no one is there, though. Hasuki is able to take it down. Gets the ball back from Kari. They're just going to play keep ball between them, trying to goad Marseille out. Now Profundi. Play the ball forwards. Profundi finds Isaac. Isaac sends the cross in. Kerem with the chance. Oh, it's a great block. Great defending at the end there. That was some better football. Nuama's going to take the corner. Nuama is going to swing it into that 6-yard box area. It goes over everyone. Hasuki, though, gathers and runs off the pitch with it. Let's do one last thing. We're going to say demand more. We're going to bring on Reinders. We're going to push these guys forwards. As I said, a draw is absolutely fine. There's no reason for us to chase this game unnecessarily, but we're going to chase it nonetheless. Gutierrez with the throw-in. Gets it back from Reina. Ilacom into Brecht. Kester. Space is opening up for Kester. Takes a shot. It's a good block from Kerem. Now Isaac has a chance to set Nuama free. Nuama's in behind. Nuama driving forwards, takes a deflection. Ordero parries it. Rocha's shot is tame and easily gathered. Oh, Rocha, that should have been a goal for sure. What a shocking miss. However, maybe there's another chance here. Profundi comes forward. Back to Reinders, who finds Monterisi. Monterisi, though, under pressure, gives it away, and Okafor comes away with it. Okafor plays it inside to Reina. Reina now is in behind. Reina swears it to the Silva. Oh, my word. Ah, bugger. So you should clarify you have no problems with Norwegians, but as a Dane, I have to make fun of them to keep... But that's understandable. That's understandable. So, John, so that was a boring second half. Did it finish 2-0 then? Did it finish 2-0, or was it just... Because that's a good result, right? A good result if you can get 0-0 in the half. So you will give Danish or Swedes smack when you can. I thought that said snack for a moment. I thought, oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. You see a Dane, see a Swede, give them a snack. But no, it's smack. Talk smack, not smack as in heroin. I mean, maybe you do that. Maybe do that. Welcome in, Vex. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. And it did finish 2-0. Fair enough. Oh, well. About that luck modifier, eh? About that luck modifier. We weren't good enough. I mean, we again deserved to win. Some shocking misses there. But we chased it at the end when we didn't need to. We chased it at the end when we didn't need to, and that's my fault. So I will certainly take the blame there. However, right, we've got, I think the Genoa game is going to be the last one, because then we've got another little international break coming up. And that's probably going to be the point where I work out where we can change what I can find from the narrative within the save to guide us to how we can change. Because the diamond just hasn't really worked for us this season or last. We've made changes specifically for it. And we've been shite again. That's a Coritiba. Greece beat Slovakia 4-1. Beautiful stuff. I will have to message an old friend. I've got some Slovakian friends. Well, we've also got Ladislav Almasi fan if he's around ever. Yeah, always nice to get one over. 4-1's a pretty nice result. John, so I mean, it's never that good when you lose. No, it's not. But when you're 2-0 down at half-time against a team like the Netherlands, who are, let's be frank, much better than Finland, it's good to not lose more heavily in the second half. Sometimes you have to take the small victories when they're available, right? Oh no, Genoa are bottom of the table. Genoa, we've already failed to beat the team bottom of the table, which is why now Genoa are bottom of the table. We know how this one's going. I was hoping that we'd at least finish on a high, right? So John, so the whole build up to this game reminds me of an iconic interview of Finnish coach / studio expert Mika Kotia before a Germany-Finland game about 15 years ago. That's very specific. TV reporter, Finland has every chance to win the game today, don't they? Well, in principle, no. Of course, we're hoping for it, but don't see any reason why it would happen. Exactly that. Exactly that. I mean, go in with no expectations and you can't be disappointed. Vexed, as I like to say in Scotland, you can only pish with the cock you've got Finland whenever winning. That's so... I mean, you can only pish with the cock. That's a statement and a half. A statement and a half. That's actual. It's just so fit. I mean, you've got to be realistic, right? Like it's why would you build yourself up for something that's very, very unlikely to come to anything? So, you know, I'm in favour of that attitude for sure. Right, so we've got a single call up, Bjorn Rod. That probably says a lot about our team at the moment. Do we go... Do we go to the diamond? Do we go to the proper diamond? Against a 4-4-2... A 4-3-3 makes more sense to me. Then we go back to this kind of system that we were looking at last season. That really exposed us on the wings previously. Let's do Mark the left back, Niels and Kunku, legend. mark the right back. And let's put you back as a Mazzala in that regards. And we'll do that. This is probably the last game that we are going to try and persist with the diamond anyway. So what's the harm in it? We'll probably find a way to throw it away in the last minute anyway. So how's the team playing? Only just joined. Oh my, is that exactly what Zerichel says? We're wank. We played a bad game to start off the stream away against Bologna. We were just pish. We drew that 0-0. We played a bad game at home against Sassuolo. We were better than them. We deserved to win, and we did win 2-0. Then we played our best game up to that point. We actually played really well at home against Cagliari. Cagliari, who are bottom of the table. We drew 0-0. We played really well in the first half against Molde. Got a draw. Got the win, but it became nervy. We played very well against Udinese, but they drew with us. We played okay against Helas Verona. And then we got robbed at the end there by Marseille in a game we dominated. So it's been a mixed bag, I think would probably be a fair thing to say. But it's not as dominant as we would hope for. So, Johnson, on the 4-1-2-1-2 or 3-4-1-2, you've recently been loving an advanced forward poacher striker combo with an advanced playmaker on support. Lovely suggestion. Wouldn't work for us, I don't think, with the squad we've got, particularly with our lack of probably poachers and our desire to have a lot of our strikers now are false 9 type, which I think is probably a bad decision in hindsight, eh? Right, David, you've got a bid farewell. Find your pillow and blanket for the night. I don't blame you. Have a lovely, lovely night's sleep. Thank you so much for dropping in, my dude. Lovely to see you. So here we go. Deep lying forward, advanced forward. Those players are going to be... We're going to swap these guys around, in fact. Advanced forward on the left. Deep lying forward on the right. Attacking player there. And that's because we're going to play Nuama up front. Benato on the right-hand slot. Kari's been getting goals. Kajusto's been getting goals. Theo comes back in. We'll pop Rocha at the base of midfield. We're going to bring in Monterisi as the centre-back there. And let's give it a go. I'm sure nothing can go wrong, right? Nothing can go wrong. Right, play without pressure. Make sure that we're marking the fullbacks. Play well, play well. Brilliant, brilliant. I said no pressure, but I expect that's understandable that they're confused. But we might have fucked it. We might be in full tilt for sure. So Johnson, you're mainly just fuming that we're playing Ilmari Niskanen in the Big 25. I mean, isn't there always an element though, Johnson, that there's always going to be a scapegoat. There's going to be a worst player in the lineup, and if Niskanen wasn't playing, you'd end up picking someone else that you decide that you're angry about being in the squad. Like, at least there's a lightning rod of some sort, right? Maybe. I hope. Right, early stages. 20 minutes. There's been one shot for 0.02 XG between the two teams. We have had a lot of the ball once again. So Kari driving forwards, takes a heavy touch. Mustafa steps in. Canizares now. Plenty of time. Is he going to go long? He is going to go long. And it's going to be won by Theo. Rocha heading it again. A bit of head tennis going on, but Nuama comes away. Plays it back nice and safe. We're going to spread it out wide to the right. Profundi into Kari. Kari now drifting out onto that right side. Finds Benato. His touch is poor. And it comes through all the way back to Bjorn Rod. Profundi. Come on, Profundi. Send the cross in. That's a nice ball. Dwyer gets there. Palmer gathers. Palmer. Interesting pass. Theo keeps it alive. Palmer. There we go. You got to score, Palmer. We've seen so many goals disallowed so far today. We've had so many disallowed, and that's another one. I don't think I can have any complaints about that one. Oh, maybe I can. Bloody hell, that's tight. That is very, very tight. Oh, well. Right, again, it's time to push things up. We've had a decent amount of the ball. A lot of possession in the final third, but we don't have many attempts to show for it as Mustafa comes away with it. Mustafa one-on-one with Ayman Kari. He steps inside. Oh, no, come off it. Come off it. Atabolo makes a great save. It was a sensational one, but the defender just ran out of the way. Defender just ran away from the ball, bless him. So Niskanen is just genuinely so bad. He must have some sort of blackmail on the coach. Here's Nuama. Nuama, can he take it on? He can. Forces a save out of Canizares there. RM94, welcome in, my dude. Wow, what skin? Want to try the skin? I think it's a revolution of the game, but I love the tactics screen of the field in the Vince skin. There are ways to put in the skin, the player photo. So you can head on over to somewhere like the SI forums or Sort It Out SI, where you will find that question has been asked and answered many times on how to go about it, which will give you all the information you need. So if you pop on over to either, let me pop that there. So the link, for example, that's in the chat, you will find within the comments the answers that you're looking for, my dude. Right, there we go, with the corner. Benato sends it across to Bjorn. Rod, back to Rocha. John, sir, we played him in a competitive game against England to see how he'd do in this kind of situation, in a position he's not used to playing, and we had 3 better options than him available. But what if it had worked? What if it had worked, right? And the guy is a drunk driver. That's more of a reason to be angry at him. I get that one. Right, here's Kurtulus. Kurtulus plays it out wide to Vintinho. Back to Dwyer. Dwyer over the top. No one was paying attention. Bad defending there by Theo. Cross comes in, but dies with a header. Yeah, boy. Come on. So Zerachal, we probably won't be able to squeeze in bingo, I'm afraid. Because we are, once again, right at that cusp with the ad. So once this game is over, we're probably going to be raiding out pretty much straight away. Right, Profundi into Monterisi. We will gather our thoughts at halftime, but I am also aware that there's an ad coming up, so I can't take much time at halftime to gather my thoughts. Yes, I can. In fact, because I am a little bit worried about the times there, we're going to move it back to key highlights. Here's Theo. Theo, back to Cajuste. To Rocha. Feels like the moment's gone, but maybe not. Profundi sends it in. Nuama with the header looping up. Easy gather for Canizares, and it was offside anyway. Oh, boo. Boo hoo hoo. Right. It's been a long time. We are throwing the water bottle. Hernandez has to come off because of the booking. Let's put you as a volante rather than someone on the ball a lot. So it'd be Monterisi there. It would be Asuki in, Reinders in. It's 3 substitutions at halftime. Nuama, Benato. And let's give this a go. See if we can do something for the second half, potentially. That luck modifier, eh? So the commentator's talking about driving with 1.6 per mil drunk. It's a lapse of judgment. It was a bit embarrassing as well. That is bad. That is bad. Vex, the team is playing. I mean, we've been playing better, but not scoring. So I can only say that it's no surprise that when we play bad, we also don't score. As Benato fires wide there. Yeah, I don't think we've managed much consistency outside of, ironically, the last stream since we've been in charge with the Diamond. So we will be rethinking it. But let's see if we can get something back in the second half. Rod now into Monterisi. Hasuki into Reinders, over the top for Nuama. Nuama sends it in, Palmer with the equaliser. They're checking for offside. Is it going to be another offside? Yay!
Ain't nobody I'd rather be. Milan, Rossoneri. They can't take that away from me.
So Palmer is 30, I believe. Yeah, that's comfortably onside. Why were you even checking that? No doubts whatsoever. Playing as that false nine, so he should be scoring more, but he's not been the biggest issue, to be fair. Izuk has been awful. He's now 32. We are trying to keep very much thematically to Italian football's love of old players. Right, Badias, are they going to respond immediately? Genoa with the cross. It's a good block from Mustafa. Michelini from the edge of the box. Genoa are bottom of the table. What is that defending? What is that defending? My word. Good closeout, to be fair. To Reinders there, once the ball came out, once it was cleared.
Oh, fucking... Do I not like that?
Yeah, absolutely great closeout by Reinders. Unfortunate not to be able to get the block in. But the defending before that was atrocious. So on comes Zanotti. On comes Carmona. We might have to push some players up a little bit, but we will give a little bit of a shout there. Nope, Genoa coming up. We've just collapsed. We've just collapsed. Mustafa is the target. It comes to Nkunku, finds Murray. Murray creates himself some shooting space. Atabolo pushes it over. Right, which way round are we going to do this? We're going to put Reinders in up further up there. And Navarro higher up. So we've then got the more defensive options on that side. You're going to wide centre back, so you can kind of sit in there. You're going to push up. We're going to, like, when we were defending normally, we didn't defend the transition, so we might as well just go with one player defending the transition now. Play narrower though. Move up to attacking. And see if we can get anything. Need the soundboard if it can get worse than this. It can. Oh, we do. We do indeed. Right, here we go. Sent forward. Hasuki wins the header. Carmona. Carmona plays it out to Nuama. Nuama can get Carmona back in. Carmona is in behind. And what a surprise. There's offside anyway. Ah, well. It's always good. You know what they say? They say end the stream on a low point. We should be sacked, to be honest. Fourth after this many games. Absolutely atrocious. You lost confidence. You fucking well should, Noah. You conceded an absolute awful goal to lose the game for us. Fourth after we're only 5 points adrift. Juventus have dropped some points since then. But that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Squad unhappy. Oh, are you now? Are you now? Apparently
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I think it's rather pathetic. I can see that you're not going to be happy. We are, though, going to surely... Are we not allowed to make a team meeting right now? I think we should be able to. After a couple of defeats, we should be able to. But there we go. I've got a minute to raid out. So, YouTube, thank you very much. We should be back on Monday. I will pop on over. If you want to find out the schedule for next week, I will be posting it on Sundays. There we go there.